Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War stream. As you all know, it is a vault event this weekend, which means there'll be an increased rate of being able to find things like gnomes as well as vault keys from those gnomes. So great time to go try farming pets. Great time to try getting vault keys in order to get either Cedric or a bunch of gem related resources, which we definitely need to replenish as this has been a little bit low lately since I didn't get to grind it much last month from being away. But yeah, this is the first vault event that I'm basically going to be able to power grind on these tokens. I wasn't able to much the previous time, so we'll be able to this time to quite a degree. The main thing we want to aim for is 3 medals of Nysha. Will we be able to reach that goal? I hope. We'll find out. But our main goal right now is we're only 1 Nysha away from +8 magic. So that's our primary goal at the moment. So let's start getting into that. I believe we have everything set correctly to start grind spamming. And yeah, let's get into it. If you guys have any questions, anything you want me to go over, just let me know. Otherwise, good majority of this weekend will be spent grinding like crazy at trying to get all of our Nyshas. Not sure if I'm going to go and actually go all the way. I want to. I ideally want to leave this weekend with enough Nyshas to have 3 medals, but we'll see how it goes. We'll judge it as we progress. But anyways, that's the goal. And we'll hand out a redeem code once we get our first Nysha. Hopefully we get a Nysha this stream. But we hopefully should. Hello, Vangor! Welcome back. Hello, Drak. Hello, Birdleaf. Hello, Thomas. Welcome, welcome. Okay, what do we need here? Let's grab ourselves some brown. Everything going. Also, there's no new content this weekend, unfortunately. Oh, glad you could join us for an hour. Always great to be able to see everyone. And hello, everyone who hasn't said hello yet. Yeah, I'll go for that. Get our other thing. And let's get right into Mountain. I might be switching up the method that we do. We might actually be doing 20 chasing, 20% chasing for once. It's something I haven't done much as far as this grinding is concerned, but we're probably going to utilize it to some degree just because we're going to have one slight issue as we go through this weekend, and that is with the increased chance of gnomes. That means there's an increased chance of finding mecha gnomes, and this team cannot function against mech gnomes because mech gnomes have impervious, which obviously makes our whole team basically not work, which is a bit of a problem. If the mech gnome was to be in like first slot or something, it wouldn't be as bad, like first or second. But if it's in third or fourth, it can completely ruin the entire battle. Because that makes it so we get 1 less instant kill per cast on Scorpius, which greatly affects his viability. Because at that point, he's basically just a weaker version of like a Zugoff or an Iron Gut. Or yeah, he's basically like a 4 higher mana cost Iron Gut at that point, essentially. Oh, oops, I didn't get a point. Oh, gosh, I hate that so much. I need to pay way more attention to that. I feel like we're going to do that a billion times this stream. But, yeah, we do need to make sure they're poisoned before we cast a Scorpius. Even if we get a lot of Cascades from the top, that doesn't necessarily mean we got the extra turn. Let's see. Hello, Matt. Hello, Earthbound. Hello, September Black. You're gonna stop playing difficulty 12 for a while. You're not getting any Nyshas. Yeah, that's my biggest concern with this weekend. Is I might get discouraged from the 3 medal goal if we don't get any Nyshas for a long period of time. We've gone as long as about 10 days without a single Nysha before. But we've been getting decently lucky enough. We also got one last night, which is pretty cool. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Ideally, we'll get at least 1 this stream, if nothing else. Like, that's the main goal. Like, the biggest goal of this stream is, like, get 1 Nysha so we can go get +8 magic. That could take 1 minute or 1 week. It's really just depends on how lucky or unlucky we are. Could be in this chest. Could be 1,000 chests from now. It's a decimal of a % chance. I forget what the exact thing was. I believe it was a 0.02? No, it was a little bit higher than that. Or was it 0.02? Something pretty low. The exact data on it was on the forum. I believe I posted a link to it on the community page a little while back. Like a few posts back, if you go to the community page on this YouTube page. I don't have the exact link on it right now. Let's see. You're going to... Oh, never mind. I already read that. Oh, wait. Why did it go twice? Let's see. You're in a guild by yourself and still competing in Guild Wars. Second place going into today, to be precise. However, my opponent today is... yeah, that's actually one thing that's... what's his name? Used to do quite a bit. Actually, whatever happened to him anyways? Techni. He used to actually do that. And the reason why he did that is since he was in such a small guild, he was able to get 100% EXP bonus the entire time, which is why he ended up doing it in order to overall increase his EXP rate. Also, matchmaking in PvP is slightly different if you're in a lower guild compared to a higher guild. Also, if you're in no guild at all, it also is different. Okay, so this isn't as bad. We just found a Mecha Gnome, which is generally good. However, obviously with this team, not so much. However, it's in first slot, so it's not too annoying, just because it's not actually blocking anything. The only real big annoying thing that might happen is he does use a lot of brown, and because of that, he could end up escaping because we keep using Mountain Crusher over and over again, which is obviously just giving him mana. Okay, we got a bit of a problem here, and that is doing enough damage, so I'm just gonna start taking skulls all over the place every single time I see one. So here's the big issue. He's just gonna dodge and probably escape right now. And even if he doesn't, he gains armor, which is also going to be bad. And we just keep giving him all the browns he'll ever need, which is also bad. We'll go for Mountain, just hope we get lucky. That's not lucky enough. I should probably run in Rage just so we can deal with him instead of Explosion, but then that slows down this team. But so does this happening. This whole situation right here. He's gonna take that brown. Hopefully we get a Sky Skull off it. Oh, we didn't. We got a Mountain and hope we get ultra lucky. Okay, that works. But yeah, mech gnomes are gonna be really, really annoying. But we got 20 ultra rare things. It's the only thing that can appear that would ever make it so the enemy has impervious. But it slows us down like a whole minute plus. And we're missing out on some gnomes because he will have a pretty good chance of escaping most of the time. At least when using this team. Just because how ridiculously bad it is against it. Ooh, you got your first Nysha medal today. Congrats. Hopefully we get ours soon. Oh gosh, this is going to be a reoccurring thing. Stop doing mech gnomes. I wonder if they deliberately made the mech gnome drop rate like ridiculously high for this place. Just so people wouldn't farm it as much. Yeah, that's 2 mech gnomes in a row. That's a really annoying location for him too. Okay, we can't skull him yet, so we'll just keep poking. Luckily he's blocked on brown, if nothing else. So even though we're not damaging him much yet, he's also not really being able to do much either. Yeah, that's fine, then he has no option next turn, then we just explode all the greens. I think we'll be fine. It slows us down by like a minute, but looks like it comes through. So we haven't had one escape us yet. They're going to happen though. Hello, GJ Ram. Welcome. And hello, Pirater. Welcome as well. What does a Mecha Gnome give? Oh, I forget his full drop table, but the most relevant one is he has a 12 epic ingot drop. He has a 3 mythic ingot, a 9 legendary ingot, which is what we just got, a 12 epic ingot, a 20 ultra rare ingot, and I believe he has 1 or 2 other drops, but it's all ingots. Those little things that are used to upgrade weapons. Also, 0 vault keys. Oh yeah, that's another thing. We'll hand out a code either at first Nysha or at first vault key. Because I forgot that's pretty relevant too. It is a vault event after all. Even though I'm primarily doing this to grind medals. Of course, I'm specifically doing it now because we're passively getting more rewards off the vault event. So even though my primary focus is on the medals, we are still getting, of course, a lot of Vault Event weekend loot. Pretty much whenever there's a Vault Event, it's always the best time to grind. Almost everything in the game drops those things. PvP, Arena, Explore. Actually, they're dropping at such a high rate too, it feels like. Getting so many. They are increased though, of course, the rate of finding them. As well as the chance to get Vault Keys off them. Also, Glory Gnome has best drop table of any gnome. Or any gnome, other normal gnomes. Obviously, Cedric technically has a better drop table. But 200, 500, 1000 Glory, and a Vault Key are all her drops. And of course, we get the worst possible one. But even her worst possible drop is better than most other gnome drops. Because the value of her worst drop, as far as its gem equivalent, it's worth about 9 gems. Because it's 10 Glory Keys is how much 200 Glory is. And 10 Glory Keys is worth about 1 gem key, and 1 gem key is worth about 9 gems. So our worst drop is already worth a pretty decent amount relative to a normal gnome. And our best drop is worth about 45 gems. And that's the low balling it. You could high ball it as high as 50 gems. Thank you, Nick. We'll need all the luck we can get, that's for sure. Should have wore a lucky charm or something. Because we need to try getting 10 niches today. I mean, this weekend. Which means we'd have to average basically like 3 niches a day. Slightly more. But I'd be perfectly happy with 3 niches a day if we could somehow pull that off. And then we just need the 1. I'm not sure if we're actually going to be able to do that, but that is ideally the goal. 3 niches per day for the next 3 days. Counting today. So I guess for the next 2 days. Or, you know, today, tomorrow, and Sunday. The 3 days that the Vault Event's running. And it was caught up. How we need the Ellie luck. We could go get him later. Can I please explain about what the join button is on your channel? Oh yeah, I really should do a video on that. I kind of just made a post on it on a thing, but then never really extended it with like a video or anything. Same as Patreon. I never did a video really for our Patreon. It's kind of a place where people can donate if they want to. I will be adding some more rewards and revamping that soon. But anyways, basically what the join button below is if you want to support the channel, there's a $2 join button thing. Basically what that does is it unlocks a little thing next to your name. Actually, no one who currently has it is actually here at the moment, oddly enough. Even though there's 10 people. Oh no, Drock Savage is. He's probably just idle at the moment though. Said he's going to be here for about an hour. But it just puts a little icon next to your name as well as that ends up growing the longer that you've been joined for. And it also just allows a few emoticons. Nothing really too much. I wish there was a way to also disable ads with it. I don't think YouTube has added an option for that yet, though I would have added it if there was. But it's basically just a way to support the channel, and you get some emojis for it that are usable on YouTube, like those that Drock Savage just did. We also have a hello. We also have a soon TM heart and just the little Tacet face thing, and we will be adding more. I'll probably be commissioning actual like well-made emojis eventually for it as well. I haven't done that yet. That is a work in progress for some point later in time. And the more people that join, the more emojis we can end up adding to it. I believe my current limit is 7. I think I have 6 up at the moment. I'll take that, take that. It's basically like Patreon in a way. Except I get slightly less of the money, but you directly get your, the thing. Or, you know, the reward. Without having to, you know, manually go and do it. YouTube just handles it automatically. But yeah, it's the closest thing to really equivalent it to is it's basically like the subscribe button on something like Twitch or Mixer is like the closest equivalent, except instead of $5, it's $2. However, it doesn't stop ads. For whatever reason, YouTube doesn't have a stop ad function for it. That'd be really, really useful if it did. Let's throw that down. What is the soon TM that we always talk about? Oh, it's just an inside joke in the Gems of War community, particularly with the devs, because they always say soon TM for like anything that's ever going to come out into the game. And the whole joke around it is, of course, that they use soon so much that they have trademarked it. It's a joke that goes beyond just the Gems of War community as well. That's more of just a Gems of War community joke for the most part. We'll go for that for now. And then we'll go and get the kill. Grab that, get our mountain going. Vangor, don't say that. But no, the devs of Gems of War are pretty nice. I just feel like they're sometimes influenced too much by external factors. What do we grab here? We'll get him out. I mean, we'll get the explosion there for now. And then Scorpius. Many people are planning to quit Gems of War, starting that's the grind is very much. I don't know. I really like grindy games. So them adding more grind isn't actually a bad thing to me personally. Of course, I know some people don't like a lot of grind, and I am someone who does hate daily grind, like things that force like daily grinding. But something like medals, I actually don't mind as much. Because you could do it at your own pace. You won't be at too much of a disadvantage if you don't do it. And it will be a little bit more required into the future. But as it currently stands, there isn't really too much that it requires. Because it's not needed for kingdom upgrades. They will be into the future, but we are still a ways away from that. And there'll probably be more methods to accumulate them by the time they are required for things. But I don't know. I always like more grind in games. Personally. It's just daily grind. Adding more daily grind is a bad thing, though. You shouldn't force people to have to do, like, an excess per day. But having optional stuff to do that might have, like, a small impact, but isn't that required. I do like stuff like that. So that you constantly have, like, a progression system. There we go. First medal of the stream. The first of many, 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 many to come. Now to just make it a Nysha. Hello, Isabel. Welcome. Oh, hello, Liz. I don't think I said hi earlier. But I don't like that they're adding another gold sink. I feel like delves already do that enough. I know that a lot of people don't do the delves, which is probably why they're adding a different gold sink. But I wish they would at least revamp like the delve costs then. One thing that delves really desperately need is the ability to upgrade smaller treasure into bigger treasure. Even if that sinks some souls or something, there needs to be some kind of way to upgrade smaller treasure to higher treasure. Even if it takes away some of the value as far as how much overall XP you'd be able to put into the delve. Like even if let's say you use like 4 25 XPs and convert that into one actually what would be the equivalent? I forget what the one above it is. But even if you were to go convert like I forget what all their values are, fail. But even something like a crown is 100, so let's say like 4 crowns into 1 genie lamp, which is 250. Even if you were to have a conversion rate like that, it'd still be worth it just because of the amount of gold that you would save. Particularly for the smaller ones. Technically, the epic, legendary, and mythic ones you could always just use. But for the 3 smaller ones, there really needs to be a way to upgrade those so they cost less gold. Even if it is that expensive another resource. Or even if you just overall just reduce their XP But they're just not usable when they cost that much gold. Vanguard. I haven't been around for a while, so everyone's saying hi. Because weren't you someone who's been here pretty much the whole time? I know you've been here for a long, long time. I recall you around for like ages now. But didn't you start like around the first year the game launched? And it was killed out. Okay, what do we need on this board? Grab a purple, get our immediate extra turn. Even though we don't need the mana, it's normally good to go for it just to make sure we have a guarantee extra turn. Just so the poison's already applied. If nothing else, we're just putting it just to get the poison down. You were a beta tester? Does that mean you're not a beta tester anymore? I still haven't gotten to try it yet. The beta test for this version. I am in the beta. I just haven't tried it yet. I probably will be either later today or later tomorrow. Probably later tomorrow. A lot of people have already been giving feedback on it. It's been out for, what, 2 days? Ever since that post went up the other day. Is how long the beta's also been out. You think Salty would let you? Good point. Oh, I did not mean to back click there. Oh good, I was just about to say, where are all the gnomes? We were getting like a lot of them. I feel like that always happens with gnomes. You just get like a large clump of them and then you go dry for a little while and then you get a large clump. They seem to love that pattern. Okay, hopefully it does not get red. We do not need that happening. This useless gold. She absolutely despises you. Aww. I feel like she feels the same way about Supplement. Let's see. I'm not sure how she feels about me these days. Pretty sure it's rather neutral. Oh, let's get that for now. And it was explode into the Scorpiusco. The feeling is mutual. I don't know, I feel like community manager would be a really, really hard job for a game that keeps getting bigger and bigger. Just because generally when a game, like whenever anything bad happens within a game, like the community manager is normally the one that has to deal with it. And normally they don't have too much control on like fixing whatever the complaints might be. Like they might to some degree. Because obviously Salty has influenced somewhat on the development of the game to a degree. But they generally don't have as much of an impact as, you know, like a main developer. Despite still having to deal with everything that the main developers do to the game with the community. Oh, that's not what I want. I'll go for that for now. I do feel like she's better than the previous community manager, though. There was one guy we had, what was his name? Cloud Jumper? It was Cloud something. I don't know if any of you remember him from a while back. Oh no, I kind of liked him, but it didn't seem like he really did much. He was the community manager, what, 3.5 years ago? It was a while ago. That was like around the time of the new forum, long ago. And by new forum, I mean when they revamped the forum like 4 years ago. Let's see, we'll throw that down. Okay, I'll move that over. Grab our other thing, get our explosion everywhere. Oh yeah, so you were here long enough to remember that, yeah. Yeah, that was like ancient times. I still remember posting on the old forum and referencing stuff before it got taken down. For the newer one. Which is of course the one that we use today still. Gosh, I have like no table room now that I have this set up. I'm not sure if I'm going to get a bigger desk eventually or what. I always hate buying furniture. There's the whole issue of getting it from somewheres, lugging it back to the house, getting it through the door, and then actually setting it up, and then removing all the previous one or finding some other place for it is just a really gigantic hassle. Let's see, we'll take that for now. Grab the Scorpius. Actually, half the furniture in my room is actually from my neighbor, oddly enough. Helped them move a bunch of stuff out one day when they were doing the same thing, when they were replacing a bunch of stuff. Because she's old, so she couldn't do it herself. And she ended up, she was just going to throw it away, so she just ended up giving it to me because she had no space for it. So I ended up getting a lot of free furniture from that. One of the nicest pieces is probably the dresser behind me. It's like a 5-drawer dresser that I use for a lot of my stuff. That's also what the elephant's on top of right now. It's actually what's right behind me if I move the green screen. That and the bed. So the bed wasn't from her. I'll take that over. Grab Scorpius. But hopefully they'll be making adjustments to what they're doing next patch. Like, there's already a lot of discussion on it. And they're definitely going to modify it to some degree. It's exactly how we won't know until they do something. But that's happened a lot of times with mechanics in the past. It almost happened with deeds. And we could generally get it modified enough that it isn't too egregious. Freeze was a pretty big one too that we ended up getting modified before it ever got released. Freeze was going to be really broken when it was going to be released. It was going to be able to basically one freeze would have done what equivalent of your entire team being frozen is in the current state of the game. Is what one single freeze would have done. Also, is that what I think it is? It's redeem code time. There we go. Well, I did say redeem code at first Nysha. Also, I'll give out another redeem code if we get another Nysha or if we get a vault key. But there you guys go. And this is a really special Nysha, more so than some of the others, because with this, we get the Medal of Nysha. And that means we now have, we can't use it for what we're currently doing. Let me screenshot that. My screenshot button not working. Oh, wrong. Oops. Whoops. I just opened the thing on the other thing. Just doing it again. Oh, close it. Good. I just opened up like the command log or something on the other thing. I meant to click F12 on this one. There we go. Wrong computer. But there we go. Nice. Oh, yeah, I need to make sure I don't over screenshot spam. I don't want to accidentally clutter up this computer too. But then again, never mind. They probably go in the same folder. Or then again, I believe it's saved local. Actually, I don't know how that works. I need to go look into that later. But regardless, Medal of Nysha. And now, if we wanted to, though for what we're currently doing, it isn't applicable. But if we wanted to, we can now do that. And now we have 20% mana start with 8 magic, which is obviously insanely good. But for now, we actually need the HPs better because we don't need magic. Well, I shouldn't say we don't need magic. If we find a mech gnome, we technically need magic. But I go for HP just to make sure we don't accidentally die on first slot. It'll protect against about 1 whole hit of damage, which is very useful. Given how quick these spells will be going. It's not often that you can really die on these, but it's definitely possible. It's just a precaution. But yeah, we'll hand out another redeem code at next Vault Key or next Nysha, whichever happens first. Yep, and that's why we have extra HP, because situations like that can happen. And if Scorpius dies, we lose. And Scorpius has to be in second slot, otherwise Leprechaun or Uriali would block its mana, which would slow down the team. So where are all the gnomes? Seems like we're going slightly dry on them right now. Not too big a deal if we keep getting Nyshas like that, though. I'm perfectly fine getting no gnomes if that means we get a Nysha like every hour. Or more. More than 1 per hour would also be great. The 1 per hour is also nice. I wish there was an event where the drop rate of metals would be higher. Or who knows, maybe they modified it for this event. I highly doubt it, though. But that'd be very useful. If there was like a weekend... kind of like a gnome weekend, ideally even simultaneous to a gnome weekend, where metals have a higher drop rate. Wouldn't even need to be much of an increase, but some amount of increase. That or we just really need other methods other than explore though, to be able to get them. Like they're trying to add some next patch, though in a way that's quite unfortunate. But they really do need to have slightly more ways of doing it, like repeatable ways, kind of like explore. But not explore. Like maybe add them to treasure hunt. Like you could instantly make treasure hunt viable. If they don't want to like break the economy of the game, just add some metals. Just make it so like to also like encourage people to actually go further. Like you could change none of the loot other than adding 1 token every 30 turns. And boom, you just made treasure hunt more viable than it is now. And it wouldn't break anything economy wise. And it would also allow people that like doing treasure hunt to get medals. Because the only really bad thing about medals right now, or the thing that I hate most about them, is that they're only doable in Explore. And while I do like exploring, I'd prefer to have more variety than just spamming Explore to grind them out. And for something that's so important for upgrading everything in the game, it's rather limited in how you could farm it. Even something like souls, while the best method in the game is rather repetitive, there are multiple different ways that you can accumulate souls at a decent rate. Whereas metals, not so much. It's only explore and explore only. And even like gold these days, there's 3 methods for farming gold. There is doing good gold-related factions, such as City of Thieves or what's the other one called? Mirrored Halls. You could end up doing PvP or casual PvP. And you could end up doing Explore. So you have multiple different ways to go about it. And Souls, same way. You have Arena. You have various soul farming teams to different degrees in different areas, such as PvP soul farming or Explore soul farming. Arena and, yeah, you have those few methods. And all these things have multiple methods for the most part. Yet, for whatever reason, they kind of locked the metals behind only one single mode. as far as repeatable methods. Because even if they do add it to some kind of tasking guild, that's not a repeatable method. Just this is a slow trickle per week, but it's not something you can grind. Like how Explore is. Yeah, casual PvP is almost more worth it than normal PvP with how annoying some people are with their defend teams these days. Because with casual PvP, you can easily infinite repick until you get a good option. Also, I guess it might be this computer. I've noticed we don't really have infinite, or not infinite, but you know, we don't really have much of a doing a lot of battles and then having a lag issue. Like sometimes when you do a lot of battles, you'll have like a lot of lag when going through menus and stuff. But yeah, this laptop's actually really good at not lagging after we do like a ton of battles. Though we haven't done like a really long grind, so we'll see how it is by the end of this session, of this stream. But overall, it's been doing pretty decent. But for any of you that don't know, we did end up getting a new computer on Monday, as well as a lot of things. We ended up completely overhauling our internet setup and just a few other knick-knack things like the new lighting and everything. But and still more to come. But yeah, I've been really liking it so far. I still could theoretically return it if I wanted to. It does have a return policy. But I don't know, I might end up keeping it, unless there's something like an insanely good deal during Black Friday weekend. Actually, isn't today Black Friday? Hold up, isn't today Black Friday? So it's Cyber Weekend and Cyber Monday. Yeah, I need to keep looking for deals. There's so many things I need to buy this weekend. For both the channel and for holidays, for peoples. Let's see. Oh yeah, I still need to price cheaper laptops too. And you look for ones that I could use for the channel in case I want to use something other than the one I'm using now. Though the one I'm using now is starting to grow on me. The main thing I really love about it, which is like such a pointless thing, yet it's probably one of my favorite features other than the fact that everything works well on it, graphically wise and everything else. But the fact that this thing the laptop itself can be dragged down to like 180 degree, like literally parallel to your desk. I absolutely love that. Though it's a little bit weird that you can do that, yet it doesn't have touchscreen capability. Because it would make more sense if it could do that, if you could like use it as a graphical tablet as well in a way to, you know, like to use graphical programs like Photoshop and stuff on it. A little bit unfortunate that it doesn't have touchscreen, but it's really nice because the way that I have my setup right now, the fact that it can go that far down is very useful for how the limited amount of space I have here. And even if I didn't have a limited amount of space, just in general. Black Friday's the day after Thanksgiving? Oh, never mind. So it's next week. I never know when Thanksgiving is. I'm so bad when it comes to these things. I never pay attention to like any holiday for the most part. Let me see. When's Black Friday? Let me just Google it. Almighty Google. When is Black Friday? Black Friday is November 29th. So I assume that means Thanksgiving is the 28th? Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is on the... why is it not giving date? The 29th. Okay. Wait. What day was Black Friday? 29th? What? They're both the same day? Now I'm even more confused. But anyways, it's somewhere around that time. Okay, so it's next week. Mistakes were made. Let's see. What do I grab here? I'll take the brown for now. It's always the last Thursday of November. Oh, okay. And then Black Friday's the day after that. Makes sense. Literally the only two holidays I ever remember the exact date for is Christmas and and New Year's. And that's literally it. I don't think there's any other holiday where I remembered the date. Oh, and 4th of July. That's only in America. What do we grab here? Take the brown for now. Get a mountain going. If it'll let me. Oh yeah, Halloween too. Yeah, of course Halloween as well. 31st. And April 1st, of course, too, for April Fool's Day. And I guess February 14th, too, for Valentine's Day. I don't know. I guess it's always just Thanksgiving and Easter, I think, are the two biggest ones I always forget. Is Thanksgiving and Easter. So where is our extra turn? We need one. Should have probably done green there, but oh well. Got our turn. All works. And A is dead. When is your birthday? Oh, so I feel like there's a lot of birthdays within my friends and family in November. To grab. Take that. So I guess that makes sense. Because of Valentine's Day. We'll take that down. You're craving roast potatoes? Ooh. Why do you have to say that? Why did you have to say that? Because now I want to go get that from somewhere. Because I'm actually hungry for that too. Haven't had one for a while. Maybe I'll get one from Wendy's or something. They were okay there. It's not like you can really mess it up too much anyways. It's pretty much just a roasted potato with toppings. But the problem is sometimes they, like at some fast food place, they leave it out too much and it gets like harder or like stiff. It's like the only way you can really mess it up. I still have yet to ever play Minecraft. We should go dedicate a month at some point to playing all like mainstream games I've never played before. And just have fun with that. Just trying a bunch of like really popular games I've never played. Let's see, what's the full list? Let's see. That'd be Minecraft, any first-person shooter, you name it, I haven't played it. Fortnite. And there's probably a billion infinite other ones. To get a PS4? No, I don't think I'm ever going to get a PS4. Especially with that new Surface that Xbox is starting to do. I've been meaning to look into that a little bit more. I don't think they've officially like fully launched it yet. But they're doing something kind of like Stadia, except actually good. Because of course Stadia was a 100% flop. But something that you can do on PC and basically have like a monthly subscription thing for a bunch of games. And they're working on it with a cloud system for doing that. So you wouldn't need to actually natively have them on. You would just need to go and just have it basically streamed to your computer. I've been meaning to look into that more. I forget what it's even called. But it looks like that's going to be pretty promising in about a year from now or so. I don't know, I've always been a PC Nintendo gamer for the most part. I think I've owned the only console I have ever owned that wasn't Nintendo or PC was a PS2, And the only reason for that was for, I believe mostly just for Guitar Hero. Because I was in band at the time, so it was a pretty fun thing just to chill with. That was like when, like, those kind of games were like really, really popular, like Guitar Hero and everything. But I believe that's the only console I've ever owned that wasn't Nintendo or, PC. I don't know, I personally just feel like that combo covers almost all your bases. Because for any kind of extremely graphical kind of game that would be rather intense, you would just end up doing on a PC, which would likely work better than a console if you get a really decent PC. And then everything else you just do Nintendo exclusives. I know some people don't like Nintendo exclusives, but I like almost every game Nintendo ever does. Mostly because I don't know, I'm both casual and non-casual simultaneously. It's a really, really weird mix. Like, I'm casual, but I like to go, like, as far as you can push a game as possible. I'll take that for now. Hello, Zeddicus, welcome! You're not gonna be banned. I'll grab that for now. And then we just go and get our double kills. Double. Let's see. Oh, yeah, sorry. Hello, Zeddicus. I didn't even see you with your actual hello. I know I just said hello, but I just saw your actual hello message. I didn't see that initially. Because I was rambling. And you got here. Oh, yeah, we got a Nysha, by the way. Also, anyone just getting here, here's the code, too. It should still be active. We handed out, like, what, 10 minutes ago? Not even? But yeah, we got a Nysha. We finally got +8 magic. Now we're trying to find 9 more. Hopefully. Obviously not all today. If we can even get 1 more today, I'd probably be happy. Though my goal, ideally, is 3 per day. Well, that's currently the goal. That'll probably change very quickly once we only get, like, 1 today total. Because they definitely aren't common. And it's purely luck-based. The only thing we could do to really manipulate it is win slightly quicker. And that doesn't give us a higher chance. Well, it indirectly does. You know, it's still the same drop table. But, you know, the more drops you get, the higher chance you'll have. Hello, Mod Mark! Can you have a kiss? I'm not sure. I don't know, I never really understood kissing, personally. I don't get the appeal of it. Like, even with a partner, I don't understand why you would want to. Let's see. I'll throw that down for now. Oh, that's why we have extra HP. Except it still dies. That's the whole reason why we're set to 8 HP and not something else. I mean 16 HP. Can kissing be done without a partner? Well, you would need another person, obviously. I'll throw that down. You know what I mean. Thank you, Zeddicus. I know, I hope we got lucky. We need all the luck we can get. Because these things are such a ridiculously low drop rate. I was getting other stuff too along the way. Like, it's one of the reasons why I waited for a Gnome event rather than just doing it like prior to now. Because I at least wanted to get some extra loot in case we did get unlucky. Ice. That is an interesting way of putting it. Vault isn't tomorrow? No, it's Friday, isn't it? I'm not going crazy. It is Friday, right? Yeah, it's Friday. Yeah, it's Vault event right now. Events occur from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They occur at Friday Reset. You can see right over here. It should be right over here. Yeah, but it's 100% definitely a Vault event. I'm not going crazy, right? Yeah, it's a Vault event right now. It starts on Friday Reset, which was, what, 9 hours ago. And it lasts for the entirety of the weekend, from Friday till Monday Reset, which is another 2 days and 15 hours, is how much longer it goes on for. But yeah, it's a Vault event right now. They always occur on Fridays, Friday morning, or Friday at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, whatever your equivalent of that is in your time zone. Also, there's our 2 codes already. I didn't claim either of them, but there they are. Wait. How do we have 2 codes? Where did the other code come from? Is someone else streaming right now? Hold up. Where did the second one come from? I have no clue where the second one just came from. Anyways, let's keep going. We'll go for that. It's a big thing in many cultures. Interesting. Yeah, I have heard of it. Or, you know, I know that's a thing. Hello, Hasten. Welcome. And Yumiku, if I didn't already say hi. Welcome, welcome. Do I spam codes to myself for free loot? No, I do not spam codes to myself. I only use them right before I hand them out just to make sure that they actually work. But yeah, that does mean I do use every single code that I ever hand out. However, I use them when I'm handing them out, not prior. No for that. Am I more into women or men? Both. I'm not really sure if I have a lean in any one direction. I pretty much have no preference in that regard for the most part. As long as I get along with someone, it'll work. Thank you for that, Zeddicus. That's greatly appreciated. Yeah, I really enjoy being able to stream with all of you guys. It is so much fun being able to chat with you guys and everything. And have like a little community. It has definitely helped improve my life overall as far as my mental well-being. Because I had like no clue what I wanted to do after college, or if I even wanted to go to education. Then we started doing Gems of War, and it, I don't know, things just kind of went really well. And while it doesn't make an absurd amount of money, still less than minimum wage, but it's still nice, and I enjoy doing it. Though I do need to get slightly less lazy and do more guides soon. I feel like I've been covering very minimal guides like the last almost like year and a half. It feels like I look back at some of my guides, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot. That was like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And we still haven't done like an updated one. I'll throw that down. Though the problem is with Gems of War, things get changed so quickly. Like we could have done one, let's say on like guilds, and then boom, it would have been changed next patch. Oh gosh, this guy's worst drop. 2 minor fires. Actually, 100 Soul is also pretty much one of his worst drops, too. No problem, Mod Mark, and thank you. Oh, we need an extra turn there. Yeah, we've still been posting some guys here and there, just haven't been doing too many. Do need to increase the amount. Oh, we'll go for that for now. What about next patch? Next patch is going to be doing some overhauling to guilds. That is actually a really controversial change. I went over it the other day. Yeah, there's a really controversial change that's happening with guilds. It's going to be potentially increasing the amount of gold that you need to spend per week. Actual specifics are likely going to be changing, though, in the near future. But, yeah, we'll see exactly how it comes out. But there are some rather major guild changes. That reminds me, I still need to go report all the other really minor bugs that they never fix. I'm pretty sure they'll still never fix most of them. But I still want to re-mention it again. Because the list is starting to get pretty long. Actually, I don't even remember most of the list. It's because there's starting to get quite expansive. Like all the like really small visual glitches that mean almost nothing. For example, like Yagway and anything that has lifesteal, causing the game to lag for like a second or two and doing a weird visual glitch. The fact that you can like click on a kingdom and like move all around and have all that move around. I believe the chat glitch still works, and I'm not sure if it's actually fixed next patch. Oh wait, never mind. They already fixed it. Oh no, they didn't. It's just because this thing has a better response time because of the new computer, but it's still possible. There's this glitch right now where you can have a faded chat. As you can see, normally you wouldn't be able to go and move like we are right now, but you can make like a faded screen. And there's a bunch of like small glitches like that. Also, where on earth is it so I can go put it back? Like normally you wouldn't be able to click down there. Oops, and get out of here. But there's a lot of like small glitches like that that don't really have much of an impact on the game, but they really need to fix. And the list of those is like a couple dozen long. I forget all of them at this point, but there's quite a few. Like they don't really impact much, but they're still there. You wish max raid battles worked better? Oh yeah, I absolutely love max raid battles in Pokemon Sword and Shield. The biggest issue with them is matchmaking on their servers is horrifically bad. And they keep having servers going down as well. Servers went down like 3 separate times yesterday. Even when I was messing around a little bit at night, it went down again. The servers for Sword and Shield. Hopefully it'll get a fix soon. Yeah, that's another really grindy game. Particularly when we start doing shinies and stuff like that. Also, apparently there's ultra shinies in Sword and Shield too. Which don't really have any difference other than like an animation when they come into battle. And they're almost like 10 times rarer than shinies, which are already absurdly rare. Let's see, I'll probably take that down. Go for Scorpius, and down it goes. A gnome. Go explode all the things. And then just mountain into Scorpius. Hopefully extra turn here. Good. Guarantee get the gnome kill. Yeah, I think the biggest issue in Sword and Shield in regard to that is it's really weird that you can't just click on someone to join their battle. Like if you try clicking on someone who's searching for a battle at a den, it will say go click the Y button to go and you know, join them. But then you go and do that and it doesn't really function properly. So if they just made it so you could click on them and get there that way, that would be way more convenient and would allow a lot more people to join in. What do we go for here? Let's get our explosion there. Yeah, I wonder if they ever are going to add multiplayer to Gems of War. It's something they said they likely will never do. And if they ever did, it would be like a year-long process to implement it. They said the most likely way that they would ever do it is they would add a completely new game. Or, you know, they'd make a completely new game. I feel like if they tried making a multiplayer game, it wouldn't work as good as Gems of War, though. Because they're not really experienced with making multiplayer games. It's the same thing that kind of happened with Pokemon Sword and Shield. Like, what's their name? What's the name of the company? Game Freak. Game Freak's not really used to making multiplayer games. And Infinity Plus 2, developers of Gems of War, is basically the same way. They have essentially no experience, or very, very minimal, making multiplayer games. Though technically, this was also their first live service game, and they hit it out of the park. So, I don't know. Maybe they'll be able to hit multiplayer as well pretty decently whenever they get around to it. But they've never tried to before. I don't know. I feel like the epic tasks aren't going to be as bad as it seems. But only time will tell. Like, on paper, they might seem bad, but after they tweak it some and after we actually get to experience it some, I feel like it's not going to be as bad as people currently perceive it. Well, we'll just have to see as we test it. Also, I still haven't got to test everything on the beta yet, so maybe it is worse than I think. Who knows? Regardless, they're making some amount of modifications to it. Yeah, this game has really bad AI behavior. And one of the main reasons for this is they've always been, well, there's multiple reasons for it. But one of the reasons it's not too much harder, or it's not like Puzzle Quest level hard, is, well, there's a couple of reasons. One is they constantly keep adding more troops. And they would have to almost like make a bracket system for how the AI functions, and some troops underneath that system wouldn't function as good. Like, for example, if you tried putting like Leprechaun under the same category as something like an Azura, yes, they're both mana accumulators that do a similar role. However, they're used at completely different times than each other. So if they both ran on the same AI, even if you had them in separate like tiers of groups as far as what they do, it would still not function correctly all the time. And one of the other reasons why it's not as good is they were concerned with making AI too good in the past. Like, the AI was actually better when the game started for the most part, like for the first few years. But they had a lot of complaints with like the AI cheating and just being too good. So they put a lot of things into the game that made it so the AI gets less lucky as well as just functions worse overall. Even literally adding deliberately the AI missing extra turns and stuff like that. Similar to how a player occasionally does. Except the AI does it way more often than a experienced player would. Even a non-experienced player, they just do it a lot. But it'd be really interesting if they ever added like a Puzzle Quest level AI to Gems of War. It was somewhat more like that when the game started. But over time it increasingly got easier and easier. Hence, yeah, why enemies go all the way to 500, yeah. Of course, one of the easiest ways to add difficulty to anything is just increase stats. They did used to have a difficulty option that had a different AI, but they eventually removed it. Some of you may remember that about 2-3 years ago, I think closer to 3, maybe a little bit longer than that, but about 3+ years ago, one of the options when we had normal difficulty, hard difficulty, Warlord 1, 2, 3, 4, all that, hard used to be, instead of doing a 10% increase to the amount of stats, what it was instead was no % increase. However, it ended up making the AI harder. While still giving you extra loot, of course. But instead of the 10% stat increase to the enemy, it ended up making the AI harder. But they don't have any option for that now. Like, there's no way to, like, click a button to make the AI harder in this game. That would be pretty cool if they had an option for it. Like harder AI, but you get like 10% more loot or something. I'll go for mountain. Would I be doing the grind if the gnomes had impervious? Well, technically they do. Mecha Gnome has impervious. We've already seen it twice this stream. And once last night. But they get really annoying because they slow down this team by like a whole minute. But no, if every single gnome had impervious, I would just be doing 20% chasing. Using like a Zugoff team or something. That would win slower, but it would it'd still get it done. Plus we'd be getting more shards. But mech gnomes appear rarely enough, even during a gnome event, that it's fine if we do this. We're at most going to see like maybe 2 or 3 per hour, which will slow us down by 2 or 3 minutes. It's not too big a deal, given how much extra speed we're getting overall throughout the hour. Like so far this hour, we only saw 2 mech gnomes. It's been an hour now. Yeah, Puzzle Quest AI is actually really, really good. It's not like the best AI ever, but it's way harder than Gems of War's current AI. Also, we will be continuing Puzzle Quest 1 eventually. We'll be getting around to that sometime in December. But we're definitely finishing it by the end of this year, 100%. Currently doing a Blood Mage run, which is an exclusive new class on the Switch version of it. Yeah, if anyone has a Switch, I highly advise picking it up if you haven't already. Puzzle Quest. They did an HD remake of it. It's the most recent version of the game, with a lot of bug fixes and quite a few new quests and 4 new classes. It also has all the DLC and some new DLC, which comes for free, all of it. Or, you know, in the base price of the game when I say free. What do we grab here? Get the Mountain Crusher. And a Scorpion Skillet. What do we grab here? Get our Explosion. Splody, Splody. Is he really going to be 1 mana short? I guess that's not too big a deal since we didn't have the extra turn anyways. Or, I mean, we didn't have the extra turn for the poison. Hello, Sir Teddy! Nice! But yeah, the 5-year anniversary of Gems of War was just the other week, so... Actually, technically it was the 20th. Though we celebrated it last week, or they celebrated it last week. Because they always try getting it in before the holidays. But yeah, this thing's been going on for 5 years now. And we've been doing content for it for about 4 or so. 4 years. I believe it's a 4-year anniversary of this channel in end of April. I think it was April 21st or something. I feel like most of the people in bigger guilds have been playing for a while. Not always the case. But a good number of them. You'll be playing as long as Tacet does. Well, I'm never quitting this game. I know, I've loved the Gems of War community too much to never stop. Used to lead a guild called Homebound. Nice. When we were around top rank 20. How's it doing now? I am not sure. I don't believe they're in visible sight of the top. I haven't checked. I can go double check though. But I don't think I can visibly see them. So I've dropped a little bit, but I'm pretty sure they're still doing decent. I know the first guild I ever made with someone ended up doing decent for a little while, the Black Hand. They ended up coming back up and then going back down. They might have even changed the name of the guild by now. I didn't end up choosing the name. It was one of my friends. Actually, he was the one who convinced me to go play Gems of War. When we first started. What am I looking for? What was the guild name again? Homebound. Let's see, is Homebound still on top? Oops, that's not what I want. Show top. Nope, I thought that was it for a second. Where's Homebound? I don't think they're up here currently. Nope, I can't see them if they are. They're still probably still pretty high. I can't currently see them though. Nor can I see my other guild, Black Hand. Yeah, I've been in like 5 different guilds or so. Maybe a little bit more than that. 2 of which I essentially started. Which this one being the one I actually started. There we go. But yeah, I don't see them. Neither of our 2 guilds I see. Okay, let's keep going. Go to that, go to that. And let's keep grinding it out. Why don't I play it on Switch? Because it's not cross-platform. The Switch version, the biggest issue with Switch version, and one of the main reasons I don't play it a lot, 2 reasons. One is it's not cross-platform with PC Mobile. If it was, I'd be playing it literally every day on there. And the other option, or the other thing is, it's like a year behind. It's its own version, and it's about a year behind any other version, which is really, really annoying. Most of the content it has is 8 to 12 months behind the current Gems of War version, if you played on literally any other platform. Which, if you're a newer player, doesn't matter as much, but if you've been playing this game for a while, it feels really weird going that far back in time. Technically, the Switch version is the best place to start if you're a newer player, if you don't want to do the PC mobile cross-platform, simply because people won't be as grinded out, because every other platform has been going for 4 to 5 years, whereas the Switch version is not even a year old yet. It came last April. So it's like, what, 7 months old now? That's how long the Switch version has been going for, not even a whole year yet. Too bad it's not 3 years behind. Yeah, we need a Gems of War classic. No, I feel like I haven't been keeping up with anything World of Warcraft related, but I don't know. I felt like old school RuneScape started. It started getting to the point where it's not feeling like old school RuneScape anymore. And I feel like that's going to happen to most classic versions of games that ever get made. Is so many changes will end up happening to them that they don't end up feeling like the game anymore. Like, I almost feel like Warcraft 3 Reforged is almost going to feel like that too, but I'm still going to be getting it. But I feel like Warcraft 3 Reforged could possibly feel like it's like doesn't keep the nostalgia of the original game. But you never know. It's just the art assets are going to be so much different compared to the base game. You want to see us play it on Switch? Gosh, I haven't touched the Switch account of it for a couple months now. Especially now that our main Switch-related thing that I've been doing is grinding out Pokemon Sword and Shield, well, specifically Shield version. Right now, I think my main goal is to try to fill up the Pokédex. Because there's 2 benefits for doing that. Actually, there's 3 benefits to doing that in Sword and Shield. You get more glittering Pokemon, which was just confirmed, I believe, yesterday, that killing more of them gives you a higher chance to find shinies of that Pokemon. So it's actually really beneficial to do it. They aren't shiny themselves, but they increase the chance that you'll find a shiny specifically of that Pokemon. Also, once you finish out the Pokédex in Sword and Shield, you also get a pendant that permanently increases your chance of finding shinies. I'm not sure about how much, but it increases by some amount. Enough that it would be worth going out of your way to try to do it prior to trying to do shinies. I've never thought about quitting Gems of War personally. Some games I've quit a lot, like RuneScape / Old School RuneScape. I probably like played and then quit that game like 6 times or something like that. Not sure if we'll ever go back to it. Also, where on earth is Archer? Oh, never mind, we already got it. There we go. I'm playing it on a laptop right now. We'll just take that for now. Yeah, I'm just playing on a laptop. The main reason I don't have a gaming PC is mostly because, well, technology is getting to the point where you almost don't even need a bulky PC. Just because, similar to how cell phones are, where you can get such advanced technology in your hands, laptops are starting to get to the point where, like, this is almost paper thin. Or maybe not paper thin. Let's see. I don't have, like, an easy way of showing a comparison. Let me see. It's about, like this thin. It's like how thin the laptop is with everything in it. And it would work perfectly fine as, like, than, like, an actual tower PC for the most part. For most of the things that you would need it to use it for. But I also have it that way because my living conditions is still not like set in stone. Because I'm not sure how long I'll still be staying at this house. Also, I don't know hurricanes. Because hurricanes do hit this area almost every single year. Or lately, it's been literally every single year. And whenever we need to, whenever we need to evacuate, it's obviously a lot easier to bring a laptop than having to lug a entire computer setup every single time we have to do anything like that. And if I ever have to move to a different state or anything like that, it'll be really easy to bring all my belongings if this is just a single laptop rather than a whole tower, because you know, just much lighter, easier mobility with it. You could literally bring it on a plane flight if you had to. But anyways, token of Nysha. I did say when we got another one, I'd hand out a code. 2 tokens of Nyshas. I said I wanted to try for 3 per day. We're on track. We are getting really lucky. That's 2 within like an hour or so. Very nice. Okay, let me hand out another code. Where'd the code go? Oh yeah, I didn't get another code. 1 second. Let me go get another code. I was originally only going to hand out 1. Let me go get another. 1 moment. Where's another code? Another code. Where are you? Where's my code section? Oh, I'm running low on codes. Definitely need to ask Salty for more on Monday. There we go. Refresh that. Post that back. Paste that there. Copy the whole thing. It did work, right? Yeah, it did. There we go. Close that out. Put that right over there. And there you go. There is the redeem code. Use it on gemsofwar.com for the game code section. Invite codes found underneath your settings menu. Whatever your game says right over there is what you put in for invite code. Redeem codes right over there in chat. And give the same word as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. Enjoy, everyone. There you go. And it's only usable on PC mobile version, of course. Well, let's continue to grind. 2 Nyshas down, 8 to go. Because right now we just have 2 full medals and no badges, but we need 8 more, and that will be the last medal. Let's keep going. Oh, it's going to be so nice once we finally have plus 12 magic. And even then, we technically still need more Nyshas because to upgrade mythics. At least at that point, we'd have the global bonus maxed. Yeah, it is possible to go on very long dry streaks with them. But we've been getting decently lucky lately. If nothing else, even if you get unlucky this weekend, you're at least getting Vault event stuff. So hopefully you'll get lucky on Vault keys if you get unlucky on Nyshas. Yeah, no problem for the code. Why don't I play Gems of War on PS4? I don't own a PS4. I only own a Switch and 2 laptops. One of which is the new, extremely decent gaming laptop. Actually, I can run like really intense stuff on this laptop if I really wanted to. I normally don't play too many games that are like that. But, I don't know, I could run almost anything, like literally any game on this laptop. And it'd probably be fine. Oh, throw that down. And there's it. You're currently sitting on 99 vault keys. Congratulations, nice. It's gonna be nice when you finally get the 3 digits. Actually, how many are we currently sitting on? I'm currently sitting on 93. Oh, that would be a pretty cool indirect goal. While getting these Nyshas, we might end up passing to 100 vault keys this weekend. I'm sitting on 93 right now. That'll be the first time ever I have 3-digit vault key number. Yeah, I bought my Switch a year ago. I bought it last November. Early last November. But yeah, I've really been enjoying the Switch. I was kind of hesitant with it on first because they didn't really have any like decent games other than Breath of the Wild. And while I liked watching content in Breath of the Wild, it's not really a game I normally play. Yeah, it ended up turning out really nice. The main thing that ended up convincing me to finally buy one was when Smash came out. Just because I didn't end up playing Smash 4 because Wii U was pointless. And I was missing it since I haven't played it since the Wii years prior to that. But that was the main thing that ended up making me get a Switch. And another Mario Party. Though the Mario Party on Switch is actually pretty underwhelming. It's not the worst Mario Party they've ever released, but it's like mid-tier. 2, 3, and 4 were like where it was really, really good. 2, 3, 4, and 5, if I'm not mistaken. I'll take that down. Grab Scorpius. You like Smash, but it hurts your fingers. I actually really tore up my hands initially because I wasn't used to using controllers. So like the first few days of Smash, my hands were like awful, but my hands got used to it. I've already broken like 4 controllers playing Smash. Not because out of rage or anything, just literally because of how intense it is on a controller. Which is why I haven't been playing it too much lately. Or if I do, I don't play it with... I use GameCube controllers instead of the Switch Pro controller. Because GameCube controllers you can get relatively cheap. Whereas Switch Pro controller is like 70 bucks. Witcher 3, never played it. Not even sure what kind of game it is. What has more value? Rushing level 3 Explore for gnomes and passive Miststones? Or straight up Scorpius 12? During a Vault event, that's questionable depending on what your goal is. Though outside of a Vault event, I would definitely say it would be worth going for the 12s. But during a Vault event, it could be strategic if you want to focus on the Vault event a bit more to specifically do 1, 2, or 3 level explores rather than doing 12s. Because it would give you more gem value. It would obviously give you way less tokens, but it would give you more gem value, it would give you more class EXP, and it would give you more EXP in general. But it would give you less gold, and it would give you less tokens. And apparently gold's going to be pretty important next patch. At least to some capacity. Even after they tweak it, it's still going to be needed to some degree next patch. More so than it is now. Oh yeah, that reminds me, Zeddicus. What version of Pokemon Sword and Shield did you get? We might need to go trade a bunch of stuff to each other later. Because I'm trying to finish out Pokédex. And obviously that's impossible without having someone with the other version of the game. Because we need to do like a billion different trades to finish out everything with that. Let's see. We'll go for that. Get a mountain. Get a other mountain with that. Scorpius. Oh, you did get sword. Yeah, did you want to do that later? Didn't you say you already finished out the game? It might take a while. Like, that'd be like an hour or two. We'll probably do it off stream just because it's mostly just going to be us, like, messaging each other. Trying to figure out everything. But, yeah, we would have to trade, like, 50 times to do it all. There's so many items you would need to trade over in Pokemon. We might not even have some of them either. Because I know that I'm still missing a few that would need for us to do that. Also, how are we getting obliterated right now? This is a problem. Oh, that's an even bigger problem. I was assuming we'd reach full mana right there. We just lost. Unless we Sky Brown, we lost. Oh, wow, that luck. Saved. Ever so barely saved. Also, if anyone's wondering why I run HP, it's for those really rare situations like that I run the extra 16 HP. We would have died if we didn't have it. Nothing good from that, but on to the next one. Okay, we'll take the brown. Get everything exploded. And then Scorpius to Scorpius. Hopefully I have a Vault Key in there. Also, have we gotten a single Vault Key? I'm not sure if I just haven't been paying attention to it, but I'm pretty sure we haven't gotten a single Vault Key yet. I know. Well, Cedrics do appear at the highest rate for whatever reason. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, they made Cedrics have the highest drop table. It's kind of strange. It looks really similar to how that one guild chest drop table looks like. Like, I believe tier 4 for drop chest for it. Where it has a little bit of everything, but it kind of prioritizes ultra rare a little bit more, if I'm not mistaken. Like, what that table looks like is how medals are almost distributed. Like a ridiculously low chance to get a mythic, because that's, like, I believe the first chest point where you end up getting a mythic. A slightly above average for ultra rare, and then it just has all of the rarities on it. I believe that's how tier 4s are set up for the guild chest. I never know because my guild normally gets it right to 8. So I say that, but we might be a little bit lower right now. What chest are we currently on? We're currently on, yeah, we already got it maxed. We're on guild chest 6, which is max. Level 4 is the one I'm referring to. I'm not even sure if it's set up that way, but it kind of has that same general premise of how it's set up as far as how the drop rates are for Explorer. We need an extra turn. Hopefully we get lucky there. Not quite. There we go. Nice. He just hands it to us. Off for Cascade. See you, Vangor. Glad you could join us. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. And best of luck if you're going to be grinding the weekends. Nice, nice. Keep going. Gotta get more Nishas. We just need 8 more. Come on, we almost got our goal of 3 for today. Though technically we need to go for 4 for today. If we want to make sure we average 10. Because one of those days obviously needs to be 4. Well, I'll be perfectly happy if all we get is 3 today. Only 3 Nishas. That's a gigantic amount of Nisha. Oh, we don't have a good option here. Okay, let's take purple, I guess. Wow, that was a really lucky cascade. Okay, even got our extra turn already. And another one. And then we'll go Scorpius. Get a mountain in there. And then wipe. Okay, what do we have in next chest? We're almost there. Please, one more Nisha. At least one more today. Might take us a few minutes, might take us a few hours, but hopefully we get at least one more. Hello, Ron. Welcome. Oh, yeah, that's something else that I never did on this channel. Also, I need to start doing that more because I've been really needing to exercise more. I've been so busy this last week that I almost like completely slipped my mind. But Ring Fit Adventure is a really, really funny game. It's an exercising game in a shape of an RPG. And the sad part is, it's actually a decently solid RPG. It's not like the best RPG you're ever going to play, but for an exercising game, it's like a really, really decent... Like, as far as exercising games are concerned, it's like a top-tier RPG. But it's actually like not that bad. It's really funny. It is really great exercise. More so than I ever thought it would be. It'd be a really short stream though. Because I normally can't do it for more than about an hour. Hey, another medal of Arachnia. So you started back playing after a long time. What's all this new stuff with pets, mythic stones? Oh gosh, there's like a billion extra things if you're still saying pets are new. I'm not even sure where to start if you just said that pets are new. Let's see. So there's a bunch of events now that end up using sigils, which are kind of like a mini energy system, though you don't really need to worry about this too much, as it's not really in a way where you feel obligated to have to do it. As far as Tuesday events, you throw 30 gems down in order to do the entirety of the delve. Delves are a new thing that they ended up adding, which are basically the new version of kingdoms, because they stopped adding kingdoms. They're a new kingdom that we basically get every single month rather than every few months. And we just get 4 troops every single delve, and a new delve layout that has a bunch of various treasure and stuff. As far as delves, you want to make sure you keep, at least at this current moment in time, either City of Thieves or Mirrored Halls at level 20, and use it as your daily farming faction in order to build up resources. And all your other factions, you're just going to want to go and get leveled up some. But as far as renown and everything, you don't need to worry about that until a little bit later. It has very minimal impact, but you do want to make sure you farm those daily, as you do get a lot of ingots. Ingots are a new resource that are used to upgrade weapons. Other than that, pets are something that can happen if you do PvP or arena. You have a chance of finding a pet gnome. It's currently a vault weekend right now, so you have an increased chance of finding a pet gnome as well. And whenever you find a pet gnome, your entire guild will be able to do a pet battle for 1 hour. And during that time, you'll have 8 battles that you can go do, and you'll end up getting various pet food that will feed your pets in order to level them. It's basically just like souls for pets, essentially. And you'll also be able to go and get pets, which give various bonuses, some of which always constantly work. For example, like a little mini mimic, which gives a permanent 1 to 5% gold increase to every battle you do. And some are only situational. For example, something like like the elemental caterpillar, which ends up increasing the bonus whenever you use 3 or 4 elementals in your team, ends up increasing that specific bonus. Other than that, what we're currently doing right now is the new explore system, which is probably one of the more recent big things that happened in the game, in which the explore system got revamped in order to add medals. Medals are a new system for basically improving some of your stats while also upgrading post 20 once you have them fully maxed out. It's basically just like a little thing for end game players in order to basically get a little bit more stats with your time. But you can essentially go and grind wait, why is this thing? Oh, never mind. You can basically go grind for a bunch of tokens in explore, and these tokens then give you badges and medals. And these badges and medals, particularly the medals, you can set for bonuses that you have either for troops or for global bonuses. So right now we're running with 20% extra mana, or 20% extra mana with 16 HP off of 2 extra life ones that each give 8. And you can set 3 of these, and you can switch them out around whenever and have a bunch of various bonuses. And I think that's most of the things. There's probably way more that was added within that time if you've been gone since pets. There's so many things I'm not even sure everything to mention. But I think that's a good number of things. There's probably a few other things too, though. But if you have any questions, just let me know. Oh yeah, of course. I treat the game like a workout too. Except when I feel like progressing more. In which case I treat it more like an RPG. But yeah, we definitely need a stream Ring Fit adventure. It'd be a funny stream compared to what we normally do. My layout of my room would be pretty bad for it, though. It definitely exceeded my expectations for what I had for it. Like, it looked like such a gimmick that would have been, like, completely pointless. Like, when they did, like, the same... Like, what they did for Wii. Like, the fitness game they had for Wii, I felt like would kind of be along those lines. Where it was rather pointless, and you might as well just do exercise by other means. But, I don't know, Ring Fit Adventure actually did it really, really well. It's probably the best exercising game ever made. It's not the it's not the best exercise you'll ever get, but it's the best exercising game that's probably in existence. I'll grab that for now. Give Scorpius. And it's dead. Last time you played was when Soulforge was first introduced. Oh yeah, Soul Forge, that was a couple years ago then. That was like 3 years ago. Oh, was it only 2 years ago? Why do I feel like Soul Forge was so much further away? Oh yeah, Dragon Soul is still very useful. He's still one of the best soul farming methods. Actually hasn't changed. Since he was released, he's been the best method, and that hasn't changed since his release. Though it's a Vault event right now, this is actually something new that I don't believe you're aware of. Vault events, or gnomes in general, are things that you can find whenever you do battles. These are located in most locations. The main locations that you would end up doing them in are PvP, Arena, Explore, Challenges, Quest Lines, and that's pretty much it. So those are all the main locations that you would end up doing it in, with PvP and Explore being the two probably most common ones where it's done. Though any of them that I mentioned are also applicable. But basically, any battle that you do has a chance of finding a gnome, and all these gnomes have various loot. Like right there, I went a little bit quick, but that just dropped 1,000 glory in one single drop. That's basically 50 glory keys, which is the equivalent of about 5 gem keys, which is the equivalent of about 45 gems. So he essentially just got 45 gems worth of loots and keys and all that instantly, just by killing a single gnome. And yeah, they have a bunch of various loots. That is the best gnome in the game. We actually just got the best drop of any gnome in the game. So that was actually really lucky right there. But not counting like the special one that's in Vault Keys. But it's currently a Vault event, so the chance of finding these gnomes has been increased for this weekend, from today, tomorrow, and Sunday, as well as the Vault Key chance. They drop Vault Keys. Vault Keys are a thing that you can go do where you get basically a bunch of loot all simultaneously. And it has a Cedric in it, which is a unique troop, specifically only in those battles, that has a lot of extra loot. It has drop tables like 100 gems, 250 gems, a bunch of orbs, which are used to upgrade troops, like the Orbs of Ascension for their Ascension level, and orbs of clan orbs for a bunch of seals, which are basically like gem keys in a way, or glory keys, depending on how far your guild has progressed. And yeah, he has a really decent table, like a bunch of like 20 gem keys, 15 event keys, 100 gems, 250 gems, a lot of interesting things. He has some pretty bad drops too, but most of them are pretty nice. But yeah, if you're still trying to get a Dragon Soul, bottom line is, and why I went on that tangent, bottom line is, if you're trying to get a Dragon Soul, or really just trying to catch up, now would be a great weekend to go grind. You actually came back at a perfect timing. This happens, as far as Vault events, they happen about once a month. Not exactly once a month, but generally about once a month. And they last for 3 days, from Friday reset until Monday reset. And this one's going to last for another 2 days and, what, 16 hours or so? Until Monday reset. Oh, I thought that was a Nysha for a second. It almost got me one. But Anu's still nice. I won't complain about an Anu, that's for sure. I'd much prefer Nysha, though. I almost feel like Anus are equally as rare as Nishas. Oh yeah, you can also change classes for free. Also, classes ended up getting a really big revamp last year, about a year and a half ago, where you can now gain leveling towards them. So every single class can now be upgraded to level 100, and they get a bunch of traits. So heroes actually have 10 traits now instead of just 3. They have their 3 normal traits, whatever they might have, but they can also end up earning 7 by leveling them up. And they get them everywhere from 1 to 100. I believe the intervals are 1, 5, 10, 20, 40, 70, 100. Hey, I actually got it first try. But yeah, those are all the intervals. 1, 5, 10, 20, 40, 70, 100 is when you end up getting a new trait for your hero. And you have 3 different options for each one, and you just set the best one or for whatever you need for your team. And it allows you to adapt your hero, allows you to do a bunch of adjustments to it, and makes heroes a lot stronger. Heroes are actually, ever since that change, heroes went from being something that you barely ever used to some of the best troops in the game, that you use in almost every team composition, just because of how much stronger having 7 extra traits makes them, of course. Not to mention their base stats are also higher than pretty much anything else in the game. Like here's a mythic, and that's higher overall stats than that thing. What is it that you can do this weekend? So basically there's an Vault event. So if you do any combination of PvP, Arena, Explore, quest lines, or challenges, you will have the chance of finding gnomes. And gnomes are basically, you just find them on the enemy team. They have a 30% chance to run away, and you have to kill them before they run away. And if you kill them before they run away and win the entire battle, you end up getting a loot reward. And there's a bunch of different gnomes that have various different loots based on their name. And during a vault event, they also have a higher chance of dropping vault keys, which have a lot of loot in them. And they give things like gems, gem keys, event keys, and other things that could help you get a dragon soul or just troops in general. They have a really high gem value. Even if they're not directly giving gems, a lot of the drops that gnomes have a direct gem associated value. Like, for example, Glory, of course, is technically worth gems because it is usable on keys to get keys that can drop mythics. Yeah, these weekends are always the best time to ever grind in the game, which is why we saved all of our token grinding for now. Well, not all of our token grinding, but, you know, a good number of our token grinding we were saving for this weekend so we could get more value from the Gnome event while simultaneously grinding for tokens to go level up our troops with. And tokens are just for post-level 20 leveling. I'm pretty sure you won't need to worry about that yet if you were gone for a while, because a lot of your stuff probably isn't maxed currently. But you'd still want to get them for their global bonuses. Those are really useful. Even more so early in the game. The earlier you are in the game, the more effective those global bonuses actually are. Because obviously, for example, something like 16 HP that we're using right now, for example, that's obviously a lot more useful early in the game compared to now. Because the later you go into the game, the higher stats you'll be dealing with everything. Yeah, Glory is way easier to get. It's actually really funny. Compared to when the game first launched, Glory is about 200 times easier to get. Actually, even more than that. It is possible in the current state of the game, especially during a vault event. During a vault event like right now, it is possible to average around 2,500 to 3,000 or so plus glory per hour. And let's just say 3,000. At 3,000 glory per hour, let's see, how much were you able to get before? Let me go get calculator out. What's the exact math on this? So before you were able to get 16 times 3. So over the course of 3 days during a vault event, or in 3 days, you would get about 48 glories when the game first came out, and you'd have no other way to get more in 3 days. If you were to grind a vault event, you can do 3,000 per hour. So in one single hour, which would have taken 3 days in the previous state of the game. Let's see, what am I trying to... Wait, what math do I need to do here? I need to divide that into 48, right? Yeah, let's see how many times it goes in. So, it is 62.5 times easier to get glory than when the game first started, approximately. That is how much easier it is to get glory in the current state of the game. Even more so than that. In one single hour, you can get 62.5 times more glory than you would in 3 days in the compared to when the game first started. That is specifically off of vault event numbers, though. Non-vault events is more closer to 1,000 per hour, which is still substantially higher than whatever has been in the past. Are you using vault keys or still waiting? Oh, I'm still waiting. Next patch likely isn't addressing vault keys, but I'm still hoarding them. Other than Mech Gnome, there's not a single drop within vault keys I need, so I'm not really too concerned about opening them. And we have like near infinite of every resource, so I don't need to worry about it too much. Like if you're low on resources, I would consider just using them now. Like if you have like near 0 gems or something like that. But I'm just hoarding them because we're not running out of anything anytime soon. Except maybe gold, but that's not something you generally hoard a lot of. No, maybe we should have with changes that's coming next patch. Gosh. But no, factions keep sinking all my gold because I need them to upgrade the horde level for new factions. Or for old factions if we're trying to do 500 pure faction on them. You got Fist of Zorn. He's useless, unfortunately. He's one of the worst mythics in the entire game. Gargantor and Fist of Zorn are pretty much tied as the worst mythics in the game, which is pretty unfortunate. Yeah, he's unfortunately unusable. You'd be better off using like ultra rare or, you know, other similar rarities than compared to him. He's just extremely underwhelming. I'm not sure why they made him so weak. Oh, wait, is it the Empowered Zorn or the other Zorn? I keep forgetting which one is which. The Empowered Zorn is useful. You can use that with Web Spinner. If you use the two Empowered Skull Spammers, combined with Web Spinner and First Slot, it is a really devastating combo. Its win rate is extremely inconsistent, but it can win super ultra quick when it works correctly. You got the Wolf Garrick, let's see, Wolf Garrick, Druid Ranger, and Cabarrus. Oh, that was the old meta. You actually had a team for like the excessively old meta. At one point, that was like decent. Way back. Wolf Garrick in the current state of the game, unfortunately, isn't usable for much. Same as Cabarrus because they end up nerfing it twice. Because once was for its spawn rate on its final trait, and the other time was for its devour rate. I would say your best bet currently is just to grind all the dailies, which there are a decent amount of now, and to start progressing to try to get more of the troops that you've been missing out from not playing for the last few years. So start off with doing things like the adventure board, which is a new feature where you get basically a few tasks each week or each day to go do, and I highly advise doing all of them every single day. Doing things like dungeons. Oh, nice, another Anu. Sweet, and that's a badge. But doing things like these over here, I haven't done them yet. I normally do them on a nightly stream. Not sure why I always save them for that, but I just do. But I guess to remind everyone to go do them. But these things, you always want to go do these 4 tasks, whatever are there. You want to always make sure you do those daily if you have the time. To do dungeons, these give crafting materials for stuff in Soulforge, which you're probably aware of since you were still playing when Soulforge came out. That's still exactly the same. That actually hasn't changed at all and since then. What was the other thing? As far as dailies. Oh yeah, the other big major daily is Underworld. If you don't have access to Underworld yet, I believe you need to complete out Cinemirage questline and a few other kingdoms. I forget the full list. Before it was just Cinemirage, but they added a few more to that list that you need to complete first. But then you get access to the Underworld simply by clicking this button. And in the Underworld, there's a bunch of delves, and you basically want to go and do, currently in the state of the game, you'd either want to farm City of Thieves, which is this one down here, or do, where's the other one? Or do Mirrored Halls, which is all the way up here. One of those two you want to go use your daily delves on, and basically keep farming them every single day on level 20. You go and complete out the entirety of the delve, then go back to 1 times multiplier on 20, and then just keep doing the entirety of the delve, and rinse and repeat for your 3 delves each day. That's really important to do to get a lot of resources that you'll be missing, like things that are needed to upgrade weapons, as well as Chaos Shards, which are used for getting Underworld troops, and there's a lot of troops that you get there now. They're basically the equivalent of keys in a way, just for the Underworld specifically. Okay, let me keep going. Back to Urskea. Keep the grind going. I'll go for that for now. And luckily full mana, he's already dead. I think the only way you could possibly use War Gear in the current state of the game is to synergize it with that one green War Gear troop that also creates green. There's like a blue-purple that creates green and summons a Spirit Fox. I'm pretty sure that counts as a War Gear. That one troop kind of made him a bit more viable. It didn't really make him viable enough that he's like meta for anything. However, if you don't have that many options using that troop, I think it's called Spirit Dancer. Using Spirit Dancer with Wolf Garrick in front of it is going to be pretty decent. And probably one of your better options if you don't have too many options right now. You're going to log in to see what your current card set's when you quit? I should go check some of my other old accounts. My Switch account, the one that I haven't played for like 4 or 5 months now, I actually got really, really lucky. It has double Fairish Ra. It actually has like 9-10 mythics on it, even though it was only playing for like 2 months. I got really, really lucky. But I got double Fairish Ra and a few other good things. Okay, can we anything good here? No. So Scorpius there, get her out of the poke. Come on. And that was board clear to get everything rolling. Actually, I'm gonna go for those greens first. We haven't yet. We come close on one of those battles. Haven't yet though. Steam says you've played it for 3,553 hours. Nice. Well, that's quite a bit of time given that you haven't played it for ages. That means you were more active than me at the time. Didn't you say you haven't played for 4 years, or was that someone else? Because if you haven't played for 3 or 4 years and have that much playtime, that means you initially played more than me around that time. But yeah, we're currently at... this isn't all of our time because we have it split among a couple accounts. But we currently have... how much playtime? 11,276 hours. If you count every account we've ever made, that's probably almost closer to 15,000 almost. Or maybe like 13,000. But that's how much account we have, or how much time we have specifically just on this account. 11,276 over the course of 5 years. Like, this was around the time I started. I started around 1 week from today 5 years ago. I started like late November when I started this game. Late November of the month it launched. Oh no, the stream quality just went down. Oh yeah, how's your stream quality been, by the way, guys? Has the stream gone down at all? Because right now it's saying that its quality just got deteriorated. This is the first time I'm streaming for a long duration on this, for specifically Gems of War, on this computer, on the new computer. So hopefully it holds up correctly. It should be able to. It seems to be able to do Switch perfectly fine, but it's different when you're running the game specifically on the PC itself. Are you exploring? Yes, we are currently exploring. We are spamming explore like crazy, like all weekend. That's pretty much the entirety of what we'll be doing in Gems of War this weekend, is just explore, explore, explore. At least that's what I'll be doing. Because I'm trying to get the Nysha grind done. We got 2 Nishas this stream. We need 8 more. And after 8 more, we'll have 3 Nysha medals for the full 12 gold bonus. Is the token of Cedric bad? It got nerfed enough that it's not worth using in almost every situation. Unless you desperately need cleanse, I would not really advise using them compared to a higher durability or 20% mana start or anything else. that might exist as they add more, because they will be adding more medals. It might be a little while before they do, but they do plan on adding more medals, like more medals, per not till later next year though, probably summer next year. No official date has been given though. Level 276 with 264 troops. I'm sure you had all troops in the game when you quit. Nice. Yeah, there wasn't the game has gotten a lot more troops over time. The game when it launched had less than 100 troops, because I remember, because there was an achievement to get 100 troops, and it was actually impossible when the game first launched because Stormheim was the first kingdom in the game. However, it was more so intended that the kingdom would have been in the game prior to launch, but ended up getting delayed some, and so much so that it got delayed past Christmas. So it was like a month and a half where it didn't have it when after the game launched, even though they were expecting it to pretty much come alongside the game. But long story short, yeah, there was less than 100 when the game started. So now there's 800 something. There's a ridiculously high amount. Let me go see the exact number. And it keeps increasing by a few pretty much every single week. Like, they run an event every single week now, instead of like bi-weekly like they kind of did it before. Oh, he doesn't use that mana. Whoops. Okay, let's do that in Scorpius. So hoping we can get something out of it though. Yeah, how many troops are there currently? And this isn't even counting weapons. If you count weapons, it's over 1,000. But if you count just troops, there are 757 in the game. And the only one I'm missing is Mech Gnome, because I'm not going to open Vault Keys yet. But we could easily get it. We have enough Vault Keys that we could easily get a Mech Gnome if we wanted to. I'm just hoarding Vault Keys, and since I've been hoarding Vault Keys, they added a new thing in there. And I just haven't gotten it yet. But we'll get it eventually. Anyways, back to the grind. Yeah, number's starting to get really, really high. I meant Stormheim was the first kingdom they added, not the first kingdom ever. The game started with 15 kingdoms and then Stormheim was added. However, the game was initially intended to include Stormheim as a starting kingdom, like within the initial 16. But it was 15 instead, because Stormheim was just ever so slightly delayed. Your Explorer team was Dragon Soul, Giant Spider, Dragon Soul, and Keeper of Souls. The current state of soul farming in this game, there's a couple ways you can run it. It's Dragon Soul, any Necromancy, followed by Umbra Wolf, which has Perpetual Purple Storm. Dragon Soul, any Necromancy, and then Hero with Purple Storm. And then there's also Dragon Soul, any Necromancy with oh, what's it called? Leprechaun, in order to force this thing, in order to empower, do a mass explosion, which will also give you gold. That's mostly just for the mana to get Dragon Soul rolling. But those are the general soul farming methods that are used. As far as the best Necromancy troop, it is Azurus. And if you happen to eventually get it, you would replace those Azuruses with Fairish Ras. With the absolute best soul farming team in the game being Dragon Soul, double Fairish Ra, with a any Purple Storm perpetually off a last slot. Which ideally would just be Umberwolf at the moment. You can also use Hero for 4 turns of Purple Storm, which is normally enough to win in. Oh, you actually had Corvash at the time? Yeah, Corvash Valkyrie Mercy combo was really old meta. It still kind of works in the current state of the game, not anywhere near as good as it did. They ended up eventually nerfing Corvash, as you may have noticed. He now has a 15 mana cost instead of 14. He also no longer has Stone Skin. He has just Armored, which ended up reducing his score reduction by 25% from its original 50%. Corvash is still a good troop, though. He's still one of the best stunners in the game. Not the absolute best, but one of the best. And he still has a double true damage, double drain. Still overall decent. I normally only use it for Guild War days these days, though. Like blue or brown Guild War day. If I even use him for that. But that's when I do use him, if I do use him. Most other situations don't really need him. Three tokens of Cedric. Gosh, those things are so common. So ridiculously common. Yeah, we'll take that for now. Grab herself a brown and all that mess. And just explode to full mana. Clear all the browns. I wanted to do it that way just because you need a little bit of mana, just so we can get more mana by doing that. By clearing the whole board, and apparently enough to go all the way, and he's dead. Yeah, stats in this game way back could actually go to infinite. If anyone ever remembered that. That was like ancient times. It's like like 4.5 years ago or something. But stats in this game originally did go to infinite. Then they were eventually reduced down to a 1,000 cap. And they still have a 1,000 cap today. I wonder if they'll ever do so much power creeping that the game will eventually race to with 10,000 cap. I don't think they would. Because they still have a ways to go before the game would reach that point. You can see our base stats are starting to get pretty high. Like, these are way higher than what stats used to be in this game. When the game first started, some of the maxed out troops you would use would have single-digit stats. That is how low stats were when the game first launched. It's why some troops have such weird abilities, like Lady, what's her name? Lady Sapphira. She has like a 4 attack and 2 life gain or something. Or 4 life gain, 2 attack or something. Well, one or the other on top of a small life steal. And it was actually controversial, even changing her stat by 1. Like one of her attack. I believe it was 1 extra attack or something. It was reduced down from 5 to 4. Whatever value she does that does 4 was reduced from 5 to 4. And at the time, that was like a big controversy on like if it should be moved down by 1 or not. Like that's how big, that's how small stats were when the game first started. For the first several months. That is single stat change was like meta changing. I'll take that over. And there we go. Please have another Yasmin. I mean, not a Yasmin. No, don't do Yasmin. Please have another Nysha. Also, I wonder what mythic will actually be Nysha. We don't currently have a Nysha mythic, do we? Wonder how good of a magic cast that thing will actually have, given that its metal is magic related. It almost seems like something that would be a mythic for Glacial Peaks, because it's a relatively magic-based kingdom. And Nysha just kind of sounds like an ice-related thing. Ah, I jinxed it. I said Yasmin, and now it gave me 3 Yasmins. Well, it did give me what I initially said. Well then. Queen Jezebel. Oh yeah, Queen Jezebel is really good in the current state of the game. Just use Mang with Queen Jezebel. That was something that was usable back then. It's still usable now. That has never not been good. It's also a great way for running delves, particularly with Titan Hero class. Titan Hero class is one of the best hero classes in the game, if not the best. One of the most noteworthy things about it is actually what we're using right now. It gains barrier every brown while also starting with Brown Storm. Also, I never explained what storms are for the people that haven't played for a couple years. Storms are basically just make whatever color that it is fall more frequently. So right now we have Brown Storm, so it makes it more common that browns fall onto the board. One really nice thing about any storm is that it increases the chance that you'll get an extra turn when clearing out the board, because more of a similar color will be on the board, and obviously if more of a similar color is on the board, they'll be bunched together, and that just gives a higher chance of getting extra turn from off that color. Oh yeah, that was back when Valkyrie was meta for everything. For about 2 or 3 years, Valkyrie was the only troop in the entire game that could gain souls. And then they started adding Dragon Soul and other options for it. But back in the time, Valkyrie was basically used in every single team. Like, the only viable teams were ones that used Valkyrie, and the reason for that was there was no other way to get soul farming done at a decent rate other than using Valkyrie in literally every team. So there was like a really big blue meta for like 2 years in Gems of War's history, where you basically didn't run anything that didn't include a Valkyrie, just because of how valuable Valkyrie was to have in your team composition. If anyone has any other questions, let me know. Make sure to go over them all. Hello, Captain! Welcome! I'm sure I'll go for the extra turn, why not? Get all the cascades, get immediate hit. Let's go from there. You need a fast clear team as a beginner. Any suggestions? Mountain Crusher, set to Titan. Sunbird, Rowan, and Leprechaun. Mountain Crusher you get around hero level in the hundreds, like low 100, like 100 something, by putting your hero mastery into brown as you level. Titan hero class you get automatically, or you get when you go do Stormheim Kingdom, which is all the way in the top right. Go do that and then set that as your hero class for your teams. And what else did I mention? You would also need Sunbird. That is completely random drop off of Glory and Gem Keys. However, it's not 100% mandatory for this team, but it is pretty helpful. And other than that, Rowan, which you get for free from completing out Forest of Thorns Kingdom. Where'd it go? Never mind. No. You can get some troops. Sunbird's not one of them, unfortunately. Oh, that's really unfortunate that they didn't make Sunbird one of them. Nope. They made a useless troop it instead. That would have been really good to get a guarantee Sunbird off of just throwing some gold at the kingdom that you wouldn't need to have done anyways. But no, you just have to do it off of glory or gem keys. But you can easily just do it just for a Wayne and it'd be fine. How fast can you get souls now? It can vary, but you can get souls at around 20,000 to 60,000 per hour. It depends on the method. Actually, I don't think 60,000 is possible anymore ever since they slightly adjusted it, but it's close to 50,000 as the highest possible rate. But yeah, doing something like Arena can range from like 10 to 20,000 per hour. After that, doing Dragon Soul related soul farming teams like Dragon Soul with double Necromancy Troop and a Purple Storm in Challenge Difficulty 2 or Explore Difficulty 2 in various kingdoms. That gives about a little upwards of 20,000 souls per hour. And then with Fairish Raz, it starts inching up and up to about 50,000. Each Fairish Ra increases your rate of souls by about 15-ish% or so. The first one does it more so by closer to 20%, whereas the other one does it closer to by about 10% extra increase, approximately. Whew. I almost feel like I need to take a nap, gosh. That's the only problem with explore spamming. It is somewhat repetitive. You definitely need it though. That and all the Nysha hype died down because we haven't gotten Nysha. We need more Nysha. Though we did get 2 within 2 hours so far, so I'm happy. If we can get 1 more tonight, then that's our 3. Boom. Yeah, I once again did not get good sleep last night. I don't know what it is about Fridays. Thursdays into Fridays. I just can't get good sleep on Thursdays going into Fridays. I'm not sure why. This has been a reoccurring thing. I'm not sure what is going on, but it's been like a reoccurring thing for like a while now. Like I'll try going to bed and I can't sleep, and then I'll like sleep for a little bit and then I wake up and then can't get back to sleep. And it only ever happens from Thursday into Friday. No other day does it seem to really happen. Like ever so occasionally it might, but you know, it's not like a regular thing. On Friday it seems like almost every Friday. Let's see, we'll throw that for now. Knight Coronet, Dwarf Lord, Valkyrie, and Druid. Is that team still decent? Knight Coronet can somewhat still be used as a tank. Other than that, I wouldn't really use anything other than Knight Coronet plus Valkyrie with 2 other options. Like, that part of the team you could keep. The other 2, not so much. One pretty nice thing to synergize with Azura, which might not have existed back when you were playing, is go complete out the Merlantis Kingdom and you get Azura. And Valkyrie plus Azura is a pretty decent combo. Valkyrie, of course, creates a bunch of blue and gives you souls, whereas Azura explodes all the blues on the board and reduces the stats of the enemies. And it also has a mechanic called Dispel. Dispel gets rid of all positive stats effects from the enemy. So this includes things like Barrier, Reflect, Enrage, and you know, everything else. Enchant, all the positive stats effects that could possibly be on them. It doesn't reduce down their stats, or it does a stat reduction, but it doesn't revert back their stats like they gain from buffs. It only does stats effects specifically, is what Dispel gets rid of. But yeah, it's a really great mana accumulation option because it can constantly keep dispelling while also reducing down their stats slowly. And it synergizes with Valkyrie, given that it explodes all blues. So you could do something like Knight, Coronet, Azura, Valkyrie, and one other option. Maybe your hero just to gain some EXP. I still feel like you might want to replace out the Knight Coronet too. He's not bad, but he's not as good as he used to be. But for early game purposes, I guess he'd still be able to do fine. What kingdom did I say? Merlantis. It's the one all the way to the middle left. It's the one out in the ocean. It's the only one not specifically on land. That will give you Azura for free just from me doing the quest line. Also, anyone who hasn't completed out all the quest lines, I highly advise completing out all the quest lines during a Gnome event, as Gnomes can appear in quest lines, and quest lines are relatively quick to kill, since they have such low stats. So if you haven't finished all the quest lines, now this weekend is the perfect time to go do them, if you haven't already. Because the Gnome event will make it so you get even more loot while you go through them. And you're going to need to do them eventually anyway, so you might as well do it during a Gnome event. Am I able to comment? Am I able to comment on what? You feel like you're hoarding your resources. You have 350 gem keys, 150 event keys, 1,400 glory keys, and 3,500 gold keys, and 18k gems. Is that a lot? Yes, that is a lot. Any gem amount above 10,000 is a really solid amount of gem amount to have. I generally advise that for end-game players, to at least keep a hoard of at minimum 10,000 gems at any given time, in case they add some kind of new mechanic that ever eats up a lot of gems. But yeah, 10,000 gems, over 10,000 gems is a lot. Right now, I think I'm currently at 24,000, heading to 25,000. It tends to stay, mine tends to stay around 25,000, because in the current state of the game, I feel like I spend about as much as I get in. And I just adjust my gem spending so we don't go too much further below. But I always keep that reserve amount in case we do ever need extra. Like if we wanted to do an extra event for a faction assault, or if we wanted to do, I don't know, whatever, maybe some kind of new mechanic comes in that needs gems for whatever reason. I just always keep them just in case. How do you get gems? The current state of the game, the way you get gems is you get, what is it, 390 or 490 per week from your guild. Daily adventure board is a great way to do it. You get a guarantee 20 at minimum off this top task every single day, and you occasionally get a task here that gives you 100. You can also get gems from these bottom three, as high as 100 per day, as low as 9 gems. In this case, we got the rare one, which ends up giving us 15 gems today. So doing these every single day is guarantee minimum 20 gems, and it can give as high as 200 gems if you get a legendary one down here and a decent one down there, up there, that also gives 100. So you get at minimum 20 and as high as 200 on a given day, every single day, just from those, and those don't take that long at all to go and end up doing. Other than that, some events can give some gems. For example, doing the free battles for class events like we did yesterday gives 25 gems, assuming you don't miss any Val Ravens. So you can get a bunch of gems that way. Otherwise, it gives some 15 gems. You don't buy any packs into the event. You just do the free ones and get some gems that way. Other than that, Treasure Hunt, still the highest gem rate in the entire game. Treasure Hunt has, or as far as infinite options, Treasure Hunt has the rate of approximately anywhere from about 55 to 70 gems per hour. These are all based on rush method. 70 specifically being if you spend all the gold and glory you get on gold and glory keys. But if you don't spend all your gold and glory on gold and glory keys, maps come out to approximately 55 gems per hour by doing the spam method. Spam method, of course, being just take whatever you first see and just use all the maps you have. Most people have a excess of maps, and of course it's only applicable if you do have an excess of maps, but a good majority of people are at a point where they have more maps than they're ever realistically going to use, and you just use this method to get the highest, assuming you already have the maps, it's the highest infinite gem rate in the entire game. And as you see here, you want to aim for green chests to get more, but as you can see, within like a minute we got 2 gems, and on average that averages to about 55 gems per hour. So there's that method. Other than that, farming gnomes in general, particularly during gnome events like right now, also gives a lot of gems. Not only can they drop gems or gems equivalents like glory, which is basically saving you gems since you don't need to open as many keys, they can give physical gems. The normal gnome can give 5 or 20 gems. And also if we were to go open vault keys, Cedric himself in this battle has the chance of dropping 100 gems and a very rare drop of 250 gems. Even though it's very rare, I have gotten that drop about 5 times so far since they added it about a year and a half ago. So it seems like almost every other month we end up getting it for the most part. Because I haven't been using my keys much lately. Because I've been hoarding them in case they buff or nerf or do something to vault keys. But yeah, those are most of the methods. Trying to think of what else there are for gems. But that's how you gain a good majority of your gems, is through those methods. Vault events, like right now, vault key specifically, a very small amount off of class event if you do it for free. Spamming treasure hunts, which is about 55 to 70 per hour, and passively from your guild per week. And that's most of the methods. Oh, and the biggest one. How did I forget to mention the biggest one? And the biggest method for gaining gems in the entire game, which outdoes all those combined, is tribute. If you take your tribute every hour, let's say you take it 10 times a day, you can end up getting a lot of gems that way. Even in early game, you're probably getting on average about 5 gems per tribute. So if you take it 10 times a day, it's basically 50 gems just by clicking a single button 10 times across the course of a day. Which if you're on PC, mobile is even easier since you can just do it on your phone or do it that way, or just do it on your PC. But yeah, it's really easy to do it that way. Other than that, yeah, later in the game, like how far we are currently progressed on this account, we get over 10 gems per click on that. So over the course of the day, if we do it about 10 times, that's 100 gems per click, 700 per week. And that 700 per week is generally going to be higher than all the other gold gems you get combined over the course of a week. Not necessarily, depending on if you do treasure hunt. Theoretically, you could do so much treasure hunt in a day that would outdo it in a single day. But most people don't play treasure hunt that much, obviously. Even though it's technically the best infinite gem rate in the game. Grinding 2 million gold chests. Yesterday, approximately got 142 gems to enchant all the extra troops for 42,000 souls and 4,566 glory. Very nice. Yeah, on average, when opening gold keys, every 100 chests is about 1 gem. Because we even know the drop rate now. I believe it's 1%. So yeah, yeah, it would be. So on average, so it's actually 1.5 gems then. So every 100 gold keys you open is approximately 1.5 gems. So if you have a really high amount of gold keys, you can kind of reverse calculate out about how many gems you'll get from it. Of course, you could get unlucky and get less, or could get luckier and get more. But on average, every 100 gold keys is 1.5 gems. And 100 gold keys is equivalent of 30,000 gold if you were actually use gold to get it. Which means that technically every single 15,000 gold is 0 point... Well, actually, never mind. Going into a decimal is probably pointless. But yeah, it's every 30,000 gold is 1.5 gems. Which means every... Oh yeah, we could just do it that way. So every 30,000 gold is 1.5 gems, which means every 60,000 gold is about 3 gems. Which means every 20,000 gold is about 1 gem. Okay, that's how you do the math on that. Actually, I've probably done that just by looking at the number and being better. I forgot that would be actually pretty obvious. But yeah, about every 20,000 gold, not gold keys, but specifically gold, is around 1 gem. If you were to specifically use them for gold keys. And what we're currently doing, we're technically gaining gem value that way. Because with that math, we're gaining around, what is it, around 4,000 something gold per battle? Which means in about 5 battles, we are getting 1 gem worth of gold. Oh wait, never mind, it's a bit lower than that, 3,000. So every about 8 battles or so, 8 to 9, we're getting 1 gem value of gold. I mean, 1 gem, yeah, 1 gem value of gold. That was right. But yeah, whenever I say gem value resources, I'm mostly referring to resources that have a direct gem correlation that end up either saving you gems or directly being gems. So for example, these are resources like gold, in which case, like I just mentioned, every 20,000 is about 1 gem. Glory, in which case about every 20 is about 1 gem. And there's a few other, like blue orb can end up saving you, orb of ascension can end up saving you a couple 100 gems. Purple orb is worth, a major purple orb is worth 675 gems if you've already gotten all the troops and you're at maxed out chest. And the smaller one in the same situation, I believe, is 135, I believe it was. Yeah, 135, that sounds exact. Yeah, that was it. It was 135 and 675. The bigger one's 675 gems, and the smaller one's 135. That's their max value, though. They can be worth less if you don't have all the Guardian troops yet, or if you guild isn't at level 6 chest. Because that assumes both level 6 chests and you already have all the Guardians for when I say they're worth that much. And I'm comparing them to gem keys in that situation, because they're basically like gem keys at that point for the most part. There's a lot of resources that can have direct gem relation. However, there are a lot of resources that don't have any gem correlation. And I wish the devs would kind of understand that, because they keep, like, whenever they add some kind of new feature, sometimes they'll assume things have gem value that don't have any gem value. Like, they'll say it has, like, the same value or even better value. However, they'll mention this while, like, mentioning, like, resources that have 0 gem value. Like, some that have absolutely 0 gem value whatsoever are things like souls, pet food, ingots, trait stones, tokens, deeds, and stuff like that. While some of those might be helpful for various things, they don't directly correlate to any form of gem value. They will not save you gems in any way, shape, or form, any of those resources. Which is generally what people are looking for when they are looking on if something's getting nerfed or not from a resource perspective. And that's the big issue that's happening with next patch, more so than probably anything. Because almost all the new rewards that they're adding, while some being useful, are all things that have almost no inherent gem value. While costing a resource that does have a gem value. Because it costs gold. And while it doesn't have a good gem value, it still does have a gem value attached to it. Which basically means if they ever make tasks so bad in guild, it would actually be more viable to open gold keys than it would be to do those tasks. So hopefully they'll adjust them enough that that isn't the case. Speaking of gem value, hopefully he drops something good with gem value. He has a really wide mix of stuff that does and does not have value. As well as physical gems. Oh no, we might actually have him escape. Please get really lucky here. I need it. No! Okay, good. He went for a skull for whatever reason. He could have escaped. Oh! Our first Volkey! Nice. I almost feel like opening it now. Oh, no, we shouldn't. We're getting so close to 100. We're at 94 Volkeys now. But that's our first Volkey of the stream. Gosh, that took us 2.5 hours. At least we got lucky off of Nishas. Can't really complain with how lucky we got off of Nishas. But we got in 1 Volkey and 2 Nishas so far this stream. I'm happy with that. If we were just doing Volkeys, I'd probably be pretty unhappy with that. But given that we got 2 Nishas, that makes up for it by a pretty large margin. I'd much prefer be getting Nishas than Volkeys. I'd be perfectly fine trading the Volkey for a Nisha token. Actually, I'm surprised they didn't add tokens to the higher rarity tokens to Vault Keys. That would actually been pretty useful if they would have added a few Arachnias, or some Anus or Nishas for Vault Key drops. Anything lower than that would not be viable, though. That would have been pretty cool if they would have done that. Still not too late. Highly doubt they will, though. I'll take that over. Grab, actually, I'm gonna take that and then. Oh, wait, I'm gonna do that. We already have the kill condition. And just kill it out. Come on, Nysha. Oh! 3 Nishas! We did it. We're on track to have. Well, how are we this lucky? 3 Nishas in 2.5 hours. We are on track to finish the thing this weekend, possibly. We need 7 more. 7 more Nysha, and we can stop grinding tokens like crazy. We'll still be grinding them, just not as paranoid as we have been. But, nice. 7 to go. Still a long ways, though. One single one could take a literal week if we get unlucky enough. Oh, this luck, we are on track. There's no way we're maintaining this luck, though. But on the rate of this luck, we would get it done by this weekend. Though I highly doubt we're going to maintain this luck the entire weekend. Well, let's keep going. It's theoretically possible to get a whole Nysha badge within a single day if you got lucky enough. If you grinded for like 16 hours. Pretty sure there's some amount of people doing that. I am not one of those, though. Yeah, it's been 2 days since your last Nysha. Yeah, I mentioned earlier, the longest we've ever gone without a Nysha is 10 days. And across those 10 days, I believe we played for about 25 to 30 hours. I think closer to 30. But, yeah, we went like 30 hours across 10 days and got 0 Nyshas. So it is possible to go on excessively long dry streaks. But it's also possible that literally any chest has a Nysha. So, you never know. Which is one of the reasons why I said we probably won't be getting 3 medals this weekend. Because while we might be lucky right now, it just takes getting really unlucky for a long period of time that we could go this entire weekend, the rest of this weekend, to getting 0. Even if we play for a long time. Man, we'll still be getting gnomes and stuff along the ways. And it's not like we're getting no medals. I mean, the tokens. We're still getting tokens, just not the ones we want. Okay, let's get a mountain going. You're playing with a 2x soul spider and keeper, and it feels so slow. 2 times. Wait, what are your 2x soul troops when you say 2x souls? Because generally, if you're using Dragon Soul, you only run it. Unless you're running like an actual dragon team, you only really run it for farming in Explore. Specifically low-level Explore, like Explore level 2. Oh, Dragon Soul? You'd probably be slightly better off doing a mana spam team then. So do Dragon Soul, Necromancy of any kind, any Necromancy troops. And then for your 4th troop, you do either Leprechaun or Umberwolf fully traded or Hero with Purple Storm. Though based on, I'm not sure what point you currently are within the game, but Leprechaun with Purple Storm, Leprechaun with Empower is probably your quickest bet, because it's also used for a lot of other things, so going out of your way to grind it would actually be really beneficial, as Leprechaun is among one of the best troops in the entire game, despite being an ultra rare. Oh, I should have taken that 4 times. Whoops. Could have already gotten it out. We'll throw this down for now. And he's dead. Actually, he almost killed my Scorpius. That would have been really bad if he did. I should go send a screenshot to Gems of War on Twitter. I haven't been using Twitter much. I feel like I should send a screenshot to Salty and the Gems of War Twitter once we hit 3 Medals of Nysha. I don't think anyone who streams the game has gotten 3 Nyshas yet. 3 Medals of Nysha. I think the next closest person is, what's his name? Key Lime. And he's at like 1 or 1.5. We just finished our 2nd. There's plenty of people that do have 3. If you had enough time on one weekend, you could literally just grind out an entire weekend to get all of them with enough luck. As long as you don't get bad luck. But as long as you have like average luck, you could probably get it done in a weekend. If you played like just constantly your entire weekend. And if you were to do that, that would be the best weekend to do it on. Which is one of the reasons why I saved my 2nd half for this weekend. You don't have any of those? You should have a necromancy option. Even if you just have Warlock. He has it on his 2nd trait. It's super cheap. And you have Keeper of Souls. Assuming that's traded, you have a necromancy option right there. And if you have 2 of them and already have them traded, then you could just simply put 2 of them on your team. And just run Dragon Soul, Keeper of Souls, and then run Leprechaun. And if you don't have Leprechaun yet, it should be a pretty easy pickup off of Glory and Gem keys. As long as you have like a few hundred of each, you should be able to find a Leprechaun off of just opening some keys. And worst comes to worst, even if you don't, you can unlock something like Necromancer Hero class. And I believe once you get it leveled a little bit, it gets Purple Storm at either level 20 or 40. I forget which one. But then with that Purple Storm, you can set that. But that might take a little bit more time consuming. I feel like your best method would just be to go for Leprechaun. Because it has a lot of overlap for a lot of things in the game. Like almost everything Leprechaun is good for. Probably like top 10 best troops in the game, despite being ultra rare. And maybe we should start the game. We are starting to get like slightly lag screens. Like it's not lagging when we go through interface, but it's lagging like when the battles end. Oh no, it was the SSL thing. That's really weird. I've been getting that error ever since I've been using this new connection. I haven't been having any issues with anything else online though. But for whatever reason, like ever since we've switched over the internet, I keep getting that error message, and I still haven't looked it up to see what exactly it is yet. It's not too big a deal, because we're not like hard crashing or anything. And the stream's not going down or anything. So our connection's fine. It's just something with our connection communicating with the game isn't working fully correct. Let's see. We'll go for blue for now. Anyways, mounting into the hit and hopefully get our mana soon. And our extra turn. Wow, we're really far behind on this battle. Got deny right off him. Okay, good. We got this rolling. Still no extra turn yet, so let's try for it. Still none. There we go. Finally. Okay, now we can get things rolling. As long as he doesn't take red. There we go. And now he dies. Any Nishas in here? Nope, triple Cedric, of course. Why would it not be triple Cedric? It's not like horrifically bad, but it could definitely be way better than that. Okay, we'll get that. Hopefully get our Cascaded Brown extra turn. Which also gives it full mana, and he dies. Exactly so. I really want to try getting one more Nysha just so we can get 4 Nishas this stream. Though I can't really complain with 3 Nishas within 3 hours. That is absurdly above average. I'm not even sure what average even is. I feel like grinding for 3 hours should give you a Nysha, approximately. If you are doing nothing but grinding Nishas for 3 hours, while it is possible that you obviously don't, I feel like the average falls around the 3-hour mark of grinding Nishas non-stop, or grinding Met tokens non-stop for 3 hours straight. You'd on average get one every 3 hours. But 3 in 3 hours is definitely way above average. Oh, that extra turn missed hard. Now he's going to be able to silence and summon. That's awful. We need to get an extra turn here off of pure luck. We unfortunately did not. Please don't cast. Take a skull. Good. Or do that. That works too. As long as you don't get the summon or the silence. Well, the silence wouldn't have done anything, but the summon would have. Would have delayed the battle. Okay, what do we need here? Let's go get a leprechaun for now. Grab ourselves a mountain. Get ourselves a Scorpius over there. Actually, let me mountain there. Mountain again. Need that extra turn. Come on. Where are you hiding? There you go. And one more will do it. Oh, what? Oh yeah, that's actually better. I was checking which one had more. Apparently there is more brown. That's one nice feature they added a couple years ago too. Or like, not even a couple years ago, like a year and a half ago. Actually, it isn't even like the most recent year. It made it so it auto tells you how many are in the battle. So like how many gems are on the board for a certain boost ratio and stuff like that. It's really convenient, so you don't have to count them up. So Dragon Soul, Keeper of Souls at ×2 and a Leprechaun. What else did you say? Nope, that would work. The banner you'd run is +2 red, +2 purple, -1 yellow. Or sorry, +2 purple, +1 red, -1 yellow. Wait, isn't that what I just said? But yeah, it's the Daemon banner. That one from Blighted Lands. +2, or wait, was it the Blighted Lands banner? I don't even remember now. But whatever one was the +2 purple, +1 red, -1 yellow. That's what you want to run. We'll go for that. Get a mountain. And then we go kill it with a Scorpius, and we're good to go. Hopefully we get something good here. Can you get the common token from doing level 12 in Explorer, or do you have to do lower levels? Yes, you can get it from level 12s. It's not as common as at some of the lower levels. The full breakdown, there's a full list of it on the forum that someone data mined. I have a link posted to our community page here on YouTube, on the page there. If you go over to the community section on the main page of the, like if you go to videos, where videos normally are, and then click on community tab and scroll down a little bit, there's a link right there, which I can go probably drag it up as well. Here, let me go get the link for it. 1 second. Let me go find it. It's out there somewhere. 1 second. Where's my page? It is so annoying getting to my page from this page. Let me see. The easiest way to get there is probably to go here, then to go to view channel, and then go from there. So let's see. If we go right over here, go to your channel, which is my channel, and then we go over to community, and we scroll down a bit. There should be a link right around here that I posted. Was this the one? I believe this was the one. Yes, data mined. There it is. Okay. This should be the most up-to-date one. Here you guys go. But yeah, here's a full breakdown of the drop rate and basically everything related to tokens. If you're wondering what their drop rates are at certain rarities or anything in regard to that, as far as token drop rates, that is the full breakdown data mined from the game, and should be completely accurate unless they've changed it within the last like week or two, which they shouldn't have, I don't think. But yeah, there's the full breakdown of it. Oddly enough, commons are not the most common on the lowest rarity. For whatever reason, the common what's it called? The common token is actually most common on level 10. Why that is, I have no clue. But for whatever reason, level 10 is actually the level in which the common is most common, which seems kind of weird. The rare is most common on 11. The ultra rare, which is the one we keep getting seen all the time, is most common on 12, which is why we see it all the time. The epic is most common, and all the other ones are most common on 12, as far as the highest rarity 3. With no exceptions for that. But yeah, so the ultra rare, epic, legendary, and mythic tokens are all most common underneath the level 12. With the only ones being different being the common for whatever reason being most common on 10, and the rare for whatever reason being most common on 11. Why that is, I do not know. I guess it's because they have to distribute the percents a little bit differently. But that's why you generally just do 12, because 12 has the highest rate for 4 of them. And they're the main 4 you'd want to be getting as far as drops are concerned. But yeah, there's the full breakdowns if you wanted to look at it. There it is. It doesn't help you get them any quicker, but it's nice to know the data behind it. You open 200 glory keys and got no leprechaun? Yeah, that can definitely happen. It would be a lot more common all for gem keys, and it could even take a couple hundred gem keys before even getting it. There's a lot of things in a drop table. You have to keep in mind, there is 56 strips in the game? 757. And glory keys drop almost every single thing in the game. That's a lot of things that can drop that aren't the specific one that you might be looking for. Leprechaun's ultra rare, so there's a 0% chance you would get him from gold keys. He's only available in glory and gem keys. The only time he'd be in any other key is event keys, if and only if it's an event where he's currently active and he's not. But glory and gem keys are the only locations you could get him in. That and guild keys, assuming your guild chest is upgraded enough. But glory and gem keys are the main ways you to get them, with gem keys being the easiest way to get them at any given time. You notice you only have one common token, so you're surprised by that. Makes sense now why you have so many of the ultra rares. Yeah, it's really, really high drop rate for ultra rare. Like absurdly high. I forget what the exact math is on it, but I believe there's like a 70 or 80% chance you get an ultra rare every time you do a 12. It's some kind of ridiculously high number. Way higher than it should be. And he'd be dead. You got one, took 1k glory keys. Nice. What order do you put them in? You put them in order of, well, assuming you're just running Explore level 2, which if you're doing soul farming, you should be just doing Explore level 2. You should run Dragon Soul, Leprechaun, Necromancy, if you're going to be running it that way. And just run it like that. And if you want to gain some free class XP, you can replace out your second Necromancy troop, which I guess you're just using Keeper Souls, but whatever you're using, you could end up replacing out one of them for your hero. And that will allow you to gain class XP each battle to start leveling up your hero classes. I would advise doing Titan if you haven't already gotten it up. It's really important to have level 100 Titan. So it becomes really useful beyond 40. Everything beyond 40 becomes really useful. But getting it maxed is really good to do as well. It will hurt your soul slightly per hour, but it's worth it for the EXP. I know, I did say to order the cards. You put them in order of, oh nice, an Anu. You put them in order of Dragon Soul, Leprechaun, and then your 2 Necromancy troops. Or if you want to replace out one of your 2 Necromancy troops, you could do so with Hero. So you gain class XP. Also, it is required that Leprechaun is fully traded. So I'm not sure if you have some green, purple trait stones laying around. But it is 100% mandatory for him to be traded. Because that's where all his value comes from. Because he gains in power off his final trait. If you don't currently have them, you could just explore in Urskia for a little while. Maybe with them untraded. And then after a little while, you'll get the Arcanes to get him fully traded. Or did I just say Urskia? I meant Zolkiri. Zolkiri is the place. Any place that drops green, purple, arcane. Oh, look at that. This always throws me off. This is the kind of time when I would accidentally go and cast them. Like, we get such a good board and so much mana accumulation, yet we don't get an extra turn. Luckily, we got one right there. So much moves on the board, yet we still miss it. The extra turn. And then Scorpius can't do anything. Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't touched Leprechaun. Leprechaun was added about a year ago. It was added last year, December. And it's been one of the best troops in the game ever since. It's just such a solid mana accumulation option. Another instance where we don't have any extra turns anywhere. Anyways, mountain. Oh, I guess I did leave a few extra turns. I tried getting all of them. I already took like 3 or 4 off the board, and there were still 4 left. Wow. That was a lot of extra turn chain. Sometimes it's better just to let the AI take all of them, though. As long as they're not going to do an ability that's going to kill you out. Because AI can take it quicker than you can, since they react instantly. So if it looks like there's multiple on the board, you might as well just let the AI do it. As long as it's in a situation where you won't die from that occurring. Obviously, Guild Wars and stuff like that, you'd still make sure to actually take them. Or any kind of condition where it's really important that you win. But in something like one of these battles where we know them taking it isn't going to cost us the battle, we could simply just give it to them. Most farming methods end up using that. Anything where you're just constantly doing the same piece of content over and over and over again. Most pieces of content like that, you can actually just let the AI take all the extra turns. Because you're more often not going to die from them getting all that mana. And it's quicker for them to take it than the player taking it. Also, another situation where it feels like we should have gotten an extra turn by now, yet none to be seen. There we go. Come on, one more Nysha. Give us 4. That'd be so amazing. I'll take that for now. Get herself a Mountain Crusher River before I do. Oh no, that's not guaranteed poison. I didn't see the other thing moving. Whoops. Mistakes were made. Alright, there's our extra turns. Now we can start Scorpiusing. Hopefully get his mana from that. Cascade. So close. We'll just grab it manually. Explosion will take longer. There we go. Also, does anyone else have any other questions? Otherwise, I believe I am going to start slowly wrapping up because I actually do feel like I need a nap just to catch up from last night. I have a couple things I need to do between the 2 streams. No, I've gotten 3 Nyshas today. I got 1 last night and 3 today during the stream. So basically, we got 1 per hour on average. We need 7 more in order to have our final medal. And at that point, we'll have 12 magic as a possible bonus that we can use. Which is obviously a really solid amount of magic. And hopefully we'll have it by the end of this weekend. Though we still need to get really lucky for that to happen. Because there's a good chance we will not maintain that amount of luck. But today has been insanely good for it. 3 Nyshas in a day is way above average. For any day, regardless of how long you grinded. That is really, really above average. Especially for such a short duration. Well, not really a short duration, but we'll probably throw another 2 hours at it tonight, if not more. Yeah, any other questions, anyone? Otherwise, we are probably going to be wrapping up. So just let me know. Otherwise, I hope you all have the best of luck with grinding out the Gnome event. Definitely highly advise participating in it. Best places to be, of course, doing it or explore PvP arena and those locations. Also, if you haven't done quest lines are a fantastic place to do it too. Great, most perfect time you could ever try doing all your quest lines. So if you haven't finished every quest line yet, now is the perfect time to do so this weekend, as you'll find a lot of gnomes while doing so, which will substantially increase your loot while doing it, since those battles go extremely quick compared to any kind of other battle. So a great time to go do those if you have some spare time this weekend. And that lasts all the way until Monday reset time, which is 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or whatever the equivalent is for your time zone. But anyways, guys, we'll be back in about 7 hours from now. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll be mostly messing around with, obviously, the exact same thing. We'll throw in some dailies, and then we'll just go and do Guild Wars, and then we'll go straight into doing more gnome grinding. And looks like we got a Yasmin right at the end, as well as a Badger or Arachnia. Not too bad. But we'll keep making progress, grab our tribute, and hopefully we'll get above 25,000 gems this weekend as well. Should easily be able to between tribute and actually taking gnomes. So that will repair our gems a little amount. That's one nice thing about gnomes too. You can use the gnome weekends to repair any kind of gem amounts that you might be low on. So actual physical gems, things like gem keys, stuff like that. Even event keys if you're low on those. Can pretty easily be repaired if you grind a lot during a gnome weekend. But anyways, guys, best of luck. I'll catch you guys later. Leave a like if you enjoyed the stream. And yeah, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Best of luck with all the grinding. Goodbye, everyone. And see you soon.